I'm the king of the boom. What's going on, everybody? Welcome
You scared Cheese off his rock.
Oh, sorry, Cheese. In case anyone's not aware, Cheese is our bearded dragon, and apparently I just
scared him off his rock.
Welcome to a very, very special Evening With episode. This is a
this is new.
This is a very exciting topic because Titanic is about to be re-released into the theater for the 25th anniversary. Even though technically the 25th anniversary was last year, they are putting it in this year because it kind of makes more sense with Valentine's Day and all that stuff. James Cameron wanted it to be in Valentine's Day, but technically the 25th is 2022. Either way, regardless, big fan of James Cameron. He's my all-time favorite filmmaker. Love the guy. And I'm curious if this is actually the first time, and maybe it's going to be the only time ever, that two James Cameron movies are playing in the theaters at the same time.
Considering he takes forever and a day to make a movie.
True. Yeah. So at the same time, you're going to have Avatar: The Way of Water playing, and you're going to have Titanic in 3D, 4K 3D playing. So two Cameron films battling it out for who's holding that 2 billion plus spot. So
yeah, well, I think since we last were streaming, it passed the 2 billion.
Oh yeah. I think it's actually about to catch up to Titanic. I think that's the next one it has to beat.
No way.
So that's funny. He's competing with himself.
That's hilarious.
So in honor of this special event, because we would be doing this anyway, we would be doing some Titanic discussion anyway, but we figured we don't want to do it alone.
No, that's boring. Who wants to listen to us?
Why do it alone when you can have company? And we have some really good company tonight. This is some people, but it's we only have one of the hosts. But I've been aware of this podcast for quite some time. And it's been on hiatus for a little bit. We'll get into all the behind the scenes and all that stuff. But if you are not familiar with the podcast, first and foremost, it is linked down below. Click the link after the stream. Check it out if you love Titanic as much as we and our guest do. It's just a great dissection, quite literally scene by scene. And that is the title of the podcast. Yeah,
that's dedication, considering it's a 3-hour-long movie.
So it's a big mammoth project that they took upon themselves. We have tonight Brittany Butler and her co-host could not be here tonight, but we'll talk about him as we bring her in here. But before we do, we just want to showcase something that we think is really cool. Well, actually, hold on. Maybe should we bring her in? Yeah, let's bring her in first. And let's get the ticker here too. Let's get this. Where's this ticker? Here it is. There's the ticker. All right, let's bring her in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have this cool sound effect ready to rock. Here we go. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome Brittany Butler.
Hi.
All decked out in her merch.
Look at
my merch. Got my poster behind me, of course.
Yes, yeah. And look at that. Okay, I mean, you host a podcast, so it makes sense. But I mean, usually when we have guests on, we're the ones with the giant mics in our face,
right?
And everyone is just relying on the built-in microphone of their computer. Mm-hmm. You got a very nice microphone right there.
I was this close, and then I was like, "What am I doing? I have a microphone. Like, that's like so dumb. I should just use it." But yeah.
So, welcome to the channel, and wanted to showcase this because this is one of the interesting parts of your history. You have a very ebby and flowy history, as far as I know. Like, you have like a lot of things that you've accomplished in your life. Mm-hmm. And this is probably one of the cooler ones Would you agree?
Probably.
I guess. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have an exclusive image here. You'll not find this on Google anywhere. This is bam right there.
Ah.
So we are actually talking to someone who has been on The Voice.
Amazing.
That's right. NBC's The Voice. Right there she is, Brittany Butler, the girl from, what is it?
Ipanema. It was the song I sang for my blind audition.
Gotcha. Okay. I was like, why are they telling people where you're from in a very weird way? Like Ipanema. Like, so talk to us a little bit about that, because I think that's a really cool jumping off point for people that have no idea who you are.
Right. So I was telling you, it's kind of crazy that that's almost a decade ago now. In 2024, it'll be 10 years ago, which is crazy. Like, it doesn't feel that way at all. But it was a very important like step in my life, a big learning curve. Very stressful, but super fun as well. I made a lot of great friends. We're all still in contact. Um, but yeah, it was definitely uh a good learning experience. That's like what I really take away from it the most is just I kind of grew up a lot. I was 20 when we filmed it, and then by the time it aired, I was 21. Um, so yeah, it's so crazy. Like looking back, I'm like, I was a baby. Like I was
Baby.
really a baby, but back then I thought I was like so grown up. I had my whole career mapped out. I knew exactly who I wanted to be as an artist. And now looking back, I'm like, I still had so much growing to do. But uh yeah, like looking back at my performances, the way I'm singing, I'm just like, ooh, I was like, why was I singing like that? Oh my God, like I don't sound like that anymore. Like, what was I doing?
Now,
But
whose team were you on? Were you team Adam?
I was on Team Pharrell.
Team
So
Pharrell.
yeah,
Whoa.
It was Gwen Stefani and Pharrell. It was their first season of the show, and they were the 2 that turned for me. But there's like who turned their chairs. But there's so much that goes into even that, like the reason well, I'm not gonna say that everyone would have turned for me, but the reason why Blake and Adam didn't anyway was because their teams were full at the time that I auditioned. So even if they wanted to turn for me, they couldn't.
And they don't make that known on the show, do they?
They don't.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
just make it seem like
They didn't like.
they weren't interested or
Yeah.
something.
they choose the order in which they want the auditions to air.
Yeah.
So I did audition on like the second to last day, I guess, of the blind auditions, but um some other people that I knew I auditioned with around that time, they decided to put them earlier in the season, and it's just kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah, no, like this is totally tangential and we'll bring it back real quick, but I was at a taping for Deal or No Deal
Oh
when they were
gosh.
at Universal Studios,
Mhm.
and this just ties into what you're saying, where when you watch a show on television, how it's so quick, it's doing this, it's doing that. You're thinking that's how it is in real life. Like it's moving along at that pace.
Mhm.
I'm sure you can attest to maybe the fact that they even had to turn their chairs a couple times because they didn't turn it like the right way, or
Oh, no, that all of that is, like, live, like,
okay,
that's
that's
real.
real.
They catch those moments, yeah.
Okay.
That there's no going back on that. You get your one shot to do your audition, so
Interesting. Because
yeah.
for Deal or No Deal, you're familiar with the suitcases.
Mhm.
So like when the person picks the case, everyone's like, "All right, cut," and then they're like, "All right, camera one, zoom, model 8, ready, 1, 2," and it's just like, wow, like on the show, it's just like the
But
camera
everyone
just
in the audience has to be like, "Oh my god," like, act like that
yeah.
didn't happen.
Yeah, so like it was like 2 hours to film a 30-minute episode.
Mhm.
So it's just
Yeah, it's
really cool how
crazy.
that stuff works.
But
But
yeah, no, totally though. They do that stuff for like the B-roll stuff. So not the live performance stuff, like, that's all one take, but the stuff where it's, like, footage of me and my mom, like, walking around, like, this area to make it look like we're walking into the audition right away. I'm like, that did not happen." Like, we're on an actual fake lot. They had us walk into, like, a building that went nowhere. Just
Funny.
stuff like that they do. Yeah, they do a bunch of takes and stuff, but
I've noticed a spike in attendance in terms of the audience. So in case anyone's unaware what the heck we're talking about, they're like, wait, I thought we're here for Titanic. Brittany was on The Voice. She was Team Pharrell Williams. And that's what we're talking about right now. Her history with The Voice, because you're a professional recording artist, right?
I mean, if you want to call it that. I mean, I released an album myself, but yeah, I mean, I would consider myself a professional musician. That's pretty much what I do full time outside of podcasting. But yeah, that's kind of my main thing. I do like events and weddings is kind of what I've just gotten into over the last year or so. Um, but yeah, so
Now, did you stay? Because correct me if I'm wrong. Like you didn't win The Voice, right?
no, no, no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I got out the next round.
Hey, that's
So,
you,
but
you,
like,
you-
but again, like people don't understand. Prior to being on TV, there was like 6 months of auditions before I even did the blind audition. You know what
correct.
I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
Yep.
it was like to even get the blind audition felt like I won. It was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
here I am. I'm like, I'm doing the thing that people see on TV.
See, that's the other thing that they make television appear to be like. Whereas when you go in front of let's say Adam and Gwen and all them, like that's when you're auditioning for the first time, that's what you're auditioning in. And it's
Mhm.
like, that's maybe like you said, the fourth, fifth audition that you've ever done for the thing. Um,
I mean, it's your
and
first time in front of the coaches, but yeah.
yeah, but you've auditioned for producers and
Mhm.
all this stuff. But having said that, have you kept in touch? Like you said, you kept in touch with the contestants. Have you kept in touch with Pharrell? Like, are you in touch with him? Is that a thing or no?
No, not really. He does follow me on Twitter though, as far as I know.
Nice.
I wrote to him when I
Regular.
put my album out, I guess, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I put this out," but didn't hear anything. Uh, but
But they
yeah,
just kind of cut ties after that.
not cut ties, but because I don't want to say anything like bad, but um, it is kind of very abrupt when you get eliminated. Like, you get eliminated, next day you're on a flight home. Like, it was very sad. I was like, "You're not even gonna give me, like, some time to decompress here?" Like, you're just like, "Bye. We're
Like a
not
goodie
paying
bag.
we're not paying an extra day for you to stay at this hotel. You're leaving."
Did you get
But,
like a voice goodie bag, like a little like a parting gift?
Participation.
no. I got to keep my extensions though that they gave me because they were
Nice.
in my hair and they didn't really care, so I got to keep those.
I mean, hey, look, it's so cool the fact that you were even on it, and you were on it too, because I mean, the show is still going, right? The show is
Oh,
still on
yeah.
the air.
But they
Like,
do what's crazy is they do 2 seasons a year, so they would only be on maybe season 14 by now, but instead they're on, like, season 25 or, like, something crazy, like, I don't know, but
they're like, we want to
yes.
catch up to The Simpsons.
Yeah, because when I say now that I was on season 7, it sounds like the ye olden
I
days
was
of The
on a season
Voice.
7.
No, like, but like the next thing that I'm thinking about is, are you allowed to go back and audition?
No, that's the one thing about that show, like, with American Idol, they encourage you to come back, like, try again, but on The Voice, if you make it onto a team, you can't come back.
Ever?
No, but
Wow.
if you didn't get a chair, then you can come back, but you have to go through
Interesting.
the whole audition process again, I think, but yeah.
Uh, I find this stuff fascinating personally, because I love watching those like reality shows, like America's Got Talent
Mhm.
and American Idol. I used to watch American Idol. I don't really watch that too much anymore, but
I feel
I
like
just think it's so
the
cool.
world
Like,
at large used to watch American Idol.
yeah, and then it like went off, right? It went off the air, and then they were like, let's bring it back.
Yep. Mhm.
They couldn't make up
And
their
I
minds,
actually
but
know, like, a few people from The Voice who went on, the reboot of American Idol as well. Um, and I considered it, but then I was like, "Nah, like, I don't wanna do that." Like, I think I'm over reality shows, like, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even wanna go on The Voice, it just kinda happened. I was like, "Sure, why not?" Got nothing to lose. Uh, but but yeah, I
But
can't
there
do
it
it.
is.
I can't do it again.
There it is. And you got to hang out with Carson daily. So
Crazy, I only met him once. I only met him once, and it was, like, live, like, during the moment. I was like, "Hi," backstage, and then just met him on stage, and that was it.
right.
Uh, yeah, crazy.
That's awesome. All right. So there's a brief
What we're
history.
really here for.
Yes, yes. So there's a brief history on Brittany's really cool past. I'm sure there's more that could be talked about, but
Oh, yeah.
we'll save that for some other time.
But you also have lore when it comes to Brittany. You known her prior to today.
Well, I've known of the podcast for, like I said, a couple of years, and then I reached out because I think, was there something that you had posted? You were like, if you're interested in coming on, is that how it happened, or did I just like say, hey, can I come on?
I might have. I don't know, but
I wouldn't be surprised if I was just like, hey, can I come on?
maybe. But I think maybe I, like, had followed you because I saw you posting, like, Titanic stuff or
Maybe.
something like that. I don't know how it happened, but we somehow got in contact there. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, personally, my favorite moment in Titanic is toward the end of the film. So if I could come on for that particular scene, that would be awesome. It hasn't happened yet because
Yeah, because it would taken so long.
the podcast has
But
been on hiatus for a little bit.
yes. Would you like me to get into that?
if you feel obliged to, like if it's like, oh, we can't talk about it, then that's fine.
No. I mean, like, we were planning on doing, like, another "We're Back" episode that I feel like we've only done one official one of those, but I feel like we're constantly saying "We're back" on this podcast. Um, but yeah, we were planning on doing one where we could just sort of talk about everything, kinda almost like a therapy session episode because so much has gone on in the last, I don't know, like, almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 years almost, but no, 2 because December was when we kinda when things changed, December 2021, I
Okay.
think, so and that's a thing too that you were mentioning quickly before I forget about Titanic, why it's in theaters for the 25th anniversary in 2023 instead of 2022, but it's like Titanic was barely in the theaters in 1997. It was in the theaters for like 2 weeks in 1997, like, you know what I
Correct.
mean? So
Correct.
it's
Yes.
like 1998 was really like the year of Titanic, and that's when it won all the Oscars, and
Correct.
its highest grossing single day was Valentine's Day, 1998. So it
Yep.
does kind of make sense a little bit to do that. And Avatar 2 came out in December, so they couldn't have those competing at the same time.
But they're essentially going to be, as far as
They
I know.
are, but not, like, right out the gate. Like, here's
Oh
2
yeah,
James Cameron
yeah,
movies on
yeah.
literally, like, the same day, basically. They're like
Wow,
they came
dude,
out, like, a day apart.
your ego really is big. You're like, damn, man.
But yeah, the podcast. Yeah, so we took a break because we host 2 podcasts, and our other one was for this Disney Channel show called Even Stevens. And we were talking about every episode, and we were having a blast with it, and we were interviewing some cast and crew members, and everything was going so well. And then in December 2020, I believe, allegations against the star, who was Shia LaBeouf, came out
Yep.
on Twitter one day when I was in the middle of editing one of our episodes, and I just like spiraled. Like it was just not good. Like it's one of those moments where, no one wants to see something like that with someone you're a fan of, and let alone at this time it was someone that a large chunk of my life had started revolving around, doing this podcast all the time. And then suddenly this horrible cloud of like negativity was hovering over everything for me, kind of. And I didn't really know how to process it. And so I lost like all motivation to work on that podcast. and then things just got progressively worse, and then, like, I lost motivation to do the Titanic podcast, like, hearing myself talk was getting weird, like, I didn't wanna listen to myself. I couldn't listen to anything I had to say because I was like, what if whatever I'm saying ages like milk? Because I feel like all the praise I gave Shia kinda, like, aged like milk a little bit. So it was just, like it was difficult, and then there was a whole personal thing that happened too with my grandmother. Her health was rapidly declining since around that time. She was in and out of the hospital. Then she was eventually on home care for like all of 2022, I'd say. Um, or no, all of 2021. And then January 2022, she passed away. And my mom and I were like her 2 main home caregivers, really. So much of my time in 2021 was spent, like, taking care of my nana and, like, trying to spend as much time with her as possible. And during this time, it was just, like it was very depressing. Like, there was a lot, like, I couldn't find joy in a lot of the things that I loved
Mhm.
anymore, which was very sad. And Titanic started to be affected by it. And I was like, no, 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 no. I'm like anything but Titanic. I'm like, I don't want to feel this way about Titanic. This is awful. This sucks. Like I hated it. Um, but like I had to. Like I knew if I like tried to do it, I wouldn't have the energy. I wouldn't have the same level of enthusiasm. It was just really sad, so I had to really take that break, um, and then obviously, since January 2022, it's been a year since my grandmother passed, but that's then the grieving process, you know? And it's like,
Yeah.
I still feel as though I'm in denial. We just passed the one-year anniversary, and I'm still like, "There's no way. I've just lived a year without her, like, that doesn't make any sense. Because my mom is a single mom, and so my grandparents really raised me with her, so it was literally like losing my second mom, you know? We barely went a day without speaking to each other, um so yeah, it was a lot, and it was, really tough, and so it was just crazy how just over the last few months, I've started to, like, feel myself crawling out of that cave and starting to care about those things I love
Yeah.
again, and it's, like, all happening at, like, the perfect time, like, to
Good.
sort of get back into Titanic. I'm like, this could not be happening actually at a better time, like, for me to be feeling okay again. Um, so I'm very excited about everything that's happening because uh, it's gonna be this yeah, the 10th or the 9th, because some theaters have it showing out on the 9th,
Correct. Yep.
um, will be my first time watching Titanic
You said what? 2
all the
years,
way
right?
through in, like, roughly 2 years or so, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been holding off, because obviously, like, I've been getting back into it over the last few months, but I was like, "No, no, no, can't watch it. I have to wait so that the first time I see it again in 2 years, like, having experienced all this other stuff, uh, I want it to be on the big screen and the biggest
Mhm.
screen possible." I got my IMAX tickets, so,
Nice.
on the biggest screen possible, and just so I can really take it in for the first time in a long time because this is, like, the longest I've gone, so this is, like, the closest I'm gonna get to seeing the movie for the first time in a way,
That's
you
awesome.
know? Because
That's
I feel like
awesome.
I'm gonna go into it with a very different perspective after everything that's happened and, like, losing a loved one that's so close to me and just
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that the movie will have a whole new meaning for you.
I'm expecting it to
Yeah.
is I mean, I
It
don't wanna think about it too much, I just kinda wanna sit down and take it in and,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Because I mean, it's not like a direct connection, but it is. I mean, there are parallels that play out in the film, and
oh, yeah. Like, with
um,
Old Rose, I'm already, like, thinking of Old Rose and thinking of my nana, I'm like,
yeah.
but, yeah.
First of all, we're, I don't even think I knew that. Because I
Yeah,
don't think we.
I didn't wanna say too much. Like I posted on like my personal Instagram the other
Okay.
day on the 1 year anniversary because I didn't even post about it back when it happened. Like I had no words and I would, like I said, I was in denial. I'm still in denial. So I had no idea what to say. So I just didn't until just a few days ago. So
Well, very, very sorry for the
Yeah.
loss.
thank you.
Yeah. I know how it feels.
She speaks from experience.
Yeah, I lost my nana as well. Also, single mom. She raised me. She passed in April of 2020.
Hmm.
So from brain cancer.
Oh,
And
Yep.
like it's going on 3 years and I get it. I so get it. And when it comes to like I also spiraled into like I didn't have any motivation to do anything I loved. And it really does feel like rejuvenating. Like you find your passion again like once you're in a clear state of mind.
hmm.
It'll come. It'll
Mhm.
come.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
No,
definitely will.
totally. I'm glad to know that though, because I was really feeling weird about this mind block of like not having that passion for these things I know I love. Like, it was just
No,
very
right.
difficult.
Yeah, like if you do like personally, like if I were to, like my passion is art. So like I like could not do art when I was grieving because it also creates like this sort of negative connection in your brain. So it's like if I was sad while drawing and then every subsequent time I'd be drawing, I'd feel sad. So it's like, nope,
Mhm.
nope, gotta cut that right there because I don't want to associate drawing with sad, you know.
That's
Yep.
actually crazy. 'Cause you mentioned that. I remember it was maybe like 2 months before my nana died. She was watching Titanic. And because it was on TV, as you do, whenever it's on TV, you gotta turn it on. So she turned it on, but I was like, "I can't be in here right now for some like, I can't have this association right now. Like, I can't do it." So I got out and I went in the other room and I put on music or something to and she had a nurse with her at that moment. So I was like, "I'll just let them watch it. I'll go somewhere else." Because even just overhearing the movie, like, obviously, just from hearing the movie, I know exactly what's happening on the screen, like, it's, like, as if I'm in the room anyway, so I couldn't even hear it. I was like, I can't do this." But yeah, that's definitely a thing that sorta happened to me there, but yeah, but
I
I
know
have, like
100%.
yeah, because when you were saying, um, Eddie, how there's, like, not necessarily a direct connection to in Titanic to, like, my grandmother and everything, but I watched Titanic, I'm pretty sure, for the first time at my grandparents' house, and I had my VHS set. I had 2 VHS sets, one that I had at my house and one that I had at my grandparents' house, and I remember watching it a lot at my grandparents', so yeah, so I definitely there's, like, a lot of nostalgia connected to
Mhm.
that, like, the movie and then to add one other layer to the depressingness of this everything is that we had to sell my grandparents' house after my nana passed away, so that was a whole other thing that we had to go through during this time period. Very, very sad, very emotional, and I got this tattoo of the house to commemorate it. You can't
Hold
really
on.
see,
Hold on.
but
Let me make you full screen.
you can't really see, it's, like, supposed to look like a pencil drawing of the house,
Oh, that's so
um
cute.
but yeah, so I got that, and so it's been a whole thing, while we've been away from the podcast, but yeah.
Funny enough, I also got a tattoo for my nana, but
Really?
it's on my ribs. It says "You're my sunshine," and it has like a little sunflower rainbow type deal.
Oh. Is that, like, something she used to say?
Yeah, that was yeah. It's
That's,
like a
like,
thing.
the moon above the house was because my nana always said, "Love you to the moon and back."
Aw.
So, that's so nice, like, what is this? We're, like,
We're just real
connecting.
weird parallels.
And then there's me. Um, no, but, all right, so there we go. So
I know, got all that out of the way,
we got
sorry
the
to
heavy stuff out of the way
yes.
first.
Sorry for that. I have no idea how long this is gonna go for, so I'm so sorry if I just, like, sucked
It's
so much
fine.
time out of
It's
this.
totally fine. No, we have no set time. It's It's just really like if you're like, hey, I got to go make dinner.
I made sure I ate before this. So
Okay, cool. All right, let's get into the chat and then we will dive into some Titanic talk. But I'm sure the chat is going to bring in some Titanic talk as well. Old faithful Adrian James. Hey there, Ed and Haley. Adrian, you forgot Brittany. Come on.
Now.
I'm sure Adrian corrected as the chat went on. What's going on, Judd? I like that. Just a I.
Judd, you're on time.
Tony's Movies and More. Hey, Ed and Haley. And then Laren, old faithful Laren. He comes in and he fixes everything. He puts Brittany right there. Let's talk Titanic. Laren is like the resident movie dude here. So I'm curious how Laren feels about Titanic because we haven't talked about Titanic with Laren, have we? I don't think we have.
You might have brought it up when we were talking James Cameron.
I don't even know if he likes it. Like, I'm sure he likes it because he's here, but
Laren's always here.
Yeah. We got movie collector Ed. What happened with your beard? I shaved it for the room. Watch along. That's what I did. I shaved it for the room.
Now he's a baby.
Brittany, have you seen The Room?
I have seen parts of it.
Okay.
I couldn't bring myself to sit through the whole thing by myself. I want to watch it with a friend of mine who I know is into, so bad they're good or just bad movies. But yeah.
Maybe you can watch it with Ethan. So I'm gonna mark right here so we don't forget where we are. I'm gonna pull up. I have it pulled up here. Here is the podcast. I have Spotify, so that's where I listen to podcasts. This is the web version. I typically listen on my phone, but to give an idea to people, this is what it looks like. In case you're like, what does it look like? This is what it looks like. And you can see right there it says Brittany Butler and Ethan Brem.
Yes.
Ethan Brem. So talk to me a little bit about Ethan, like as much as you want to dive into it, because I find it really cool that you guys do it remote. Like you're not in the same room. It's sort of like this kind of, right?
Yeah, exactly like this.
Cool. Yeah. So you do it like that and then you edit it all together. But how did you meet him? Like all that stuff.
Wait, couple, friend.
Friend.
Oh, okay.
Friend, right?
Friend. Yeah. He's married, 2 kids. Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, we met through our love of that Disney Channel show, Even Stevens, because I had a blog all about that show that I started after I found an article that he did about the show where he ranked all 65 episodes worst to best in his opinion. And I didn't agree with his list. So I was like, okay, I got to do this myself now. So I decided to do it in the form of a blog where not only did I rank all the episodes worst to best in my opinion, but I did like an in-depth review of every episode ranking. And so we got the idea to do a podcast based on the show because we were like 2 of the only people really into the show, at least at the time. And we had these strong opinions and we both had these lists. So we were like, why don't we do a podcast called Even Stevens Ranked, where we'll start each episode. We'll review the show, episode 1 to the end. But at the beginning of every episode, we'll preface where each of us have it ranked on our respective lists, kind of like go over why, do the whole like synopsis, and then we just like go through the episode. And we just have a blast, like laughing because it's a comedy show. So, oh my gosh, we had so much fun doing that before tragedy struck. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And so we did that. And then I'm not sure where or when I got the idea to do the Titanic one. I think it was because once I started doing a podcast, I started listening to podcasts more. And so I was like, let me see if there are like stuff about Titanic. And so I ended up finding a lot of like individual episodes from like movie podcasts who would maybe do like a one-off episode on Titanic. But so many of the episodes I found just like didn't get it. You know what I mean? Like they just didn't get Titanic.
Casual fan.
Not even just casual fan, but like, a lot of people who come at it with those opinions that we always hear of like, it's overrated, blah, blah, blah. Love story sucks. It's so basic, like blah, blah, blah. best part is when it sinks, like all this stuff. Like, and I would just listen to so much of that over the course of like a few weeks of trying to find someone who appreciated Titanic the way I did on a podcast. And out of all the ones that I came across, I didn't really find one. And so I was like, am I gonna have to do this myself? Like, am I gonna have to like do something? Um, and so I had seen that podcast Titanic Minute where they do like everything minute by minute. And I was like, this is insane. I was like, it's a cool concept though. I'm like, but maybe like we could do something a little different. And I was like, why not like scene by scene? And we can like really break it down uh in a different way, that way, to really make sure we cover all the bases.
But what I like about your approach is, and it's literally scene by scene, you use the scene selection,
I
right?
do, but for some reason, like certain moments, like there actually like isn't a real title for it. So I think coming up, we're gonna have to like come up with our own titles. I think like the last episode that we recorded that I haven't published, um, or maybe another one we did. I was like, yeah, there wasn't like a name for this, but I'm gonna call it this because that sounds good. Or like, or no, it's like the Blu-ray has different names than the DVD
And the
selection,
DVD, yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. Or like the Blu-ray is divided into way smaller scenes, something like
Mhm.
that. So there's like way more different names. So, but yeah,
I
we're
just think that's a neat approach to just even like if it's a Blu-ray DVD to just take that little piece of paper that typical, I don't think Blu-rays come with it, but the DVD typically comes with it. And
yes,
you just take it out and there it is right there. So that's
I have it.
essentially the layout of the podcast in case anyone's like, I wonder what they're going to talk about. You can, if you have a copy of the DVD, you can kind of look at it and
I don't know where it went. I had the DVD scene selection in my desk drawer, but
it's in the editing suite. That's what it is. It's in the editing suite. Okay, so that's how you met him.
Mhm.
And is he like because I reached out on the Titanic scene
Yeah.
podcast Instagram.
Mhm.
So I didn't like initially I didn't even know if I was like talking to you or Ethan.
Yes, I run the socials and
I
everything,
kind of
so
figured it was you. But I was like, maybe they share it. Maybe it's sort of like whoever sees it first kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I was like, is Ethan gonna be joining? And then you were like, no, it's just me.
Yeah,
Um,
Ethan's a busy guy. He has his work schedule. I told him about this and everything. I sent him the link to join
oh,
the
cool.
video in case he has time. He said he'll tune in later on, if he has time, but I was like, "If you wanna hop on camera, here's the link." So if someone comes into the thing,
Yeah, that'd be
it's
cool.
him.
Totally down. And if he's watching just casually in the chat, man, hop on in. We'd love to talk to you. I don't even know what he looks like. I knew what you looked like because I could reference the voice and all this stuff. And you tagged your, your
Personal
regular
account, yeah.
Instagram. I don't even know what he looks like. That'd be kind of cool if I could figure out what this dude looks like. Great voice though. Like I say it a lot on the channel. I like to get people with what I think are unique voices. Like even just yourself, you have a very calm, relaxing voice, which is
Oh,
great
thank
for a
you.
podcast. So, but I like his, he has a little like, I don't know. It's just, and maybe it's the quality of the microphone he's using, but there's a little ruggedness to him.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I
I like
think
that.
he
And
just got a new microphone though, so he might not sound like that for long.
okay. But either way, it's a great podcast. Again, if anyone's new to watching right now, link is in the description. Go check it out. Hit that. I don't know what you do with podcasts. Subscribe, follow, whatever the heck you do with those things. Go do it now. And let's get back into the chat real quick. We're just going to try to catch up on here. Judd's saying, I got a fun fact that you don't know. Fun fact. Did you know there was going to be a Titanic 2?
This is so funny. I love this though, because it's like those trailers pop up like once every 2 years. People are doing the Titanic 2 Jack's Back edits, like for I don't know, like 2 decades now. I feel like these trailers pop up, and so many people are like, "Really?" And I always have to be like, "No, it's not happening." But
What would you even do?
Or
Sink another ship? What?
yeah. Or I is Judd, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm when I read that, I was thinking,
The re-release
well,
or
that, but I was thinking, wasn't there talk of them actually building a replica?
Oh, right, yeah, yeah, that's never happening.
That's never gonna happen
That's
either.
never
No.
happening. I remember that. It was supposed to set sail in 2016, I think, and, like, they started talking about it in around maybe, like, 2012 or something, and they were like, "Yeah, it's gonna set sail in 2016." Then it was gonna set sail in 2018, and then 2020, and then, like, it keeps popping up, and I'm like, "This is never gonna happen," but
But let's say hypothetically, they build a replica of the Titanic ship. Are you buying tickets?
Yeah,
You get to reenact every scene.
that's a question. Um, yeah, I feel like I would not. Uh,
No?
no, I said, like, if they were to make one, but then make it like a stationary like the Queen Mary or something, and they just,
Okay,
like, had it stationary and you could, like, book a room there or, like, stay there, tour it if it actually is an exact replica, you know?
got it.
Like, that could be really cool. Like, that could be a cool tourist attraction or something if they, like I was saying, like, if they somehow were able to dock it in New York, like, that would
Mhm.
be really symbolic and nice to be like, "It made it kind of," like,
Yeah, yeah.
or something like that, and plus that's closer to Boston, so I could actually get there,
There you go.
but yeah, but it would be cool to do it in, Southampton, England too, have it there or something, but yeah, just something like that I feel like would be cool, but actually, like, sailing it, I'm
And
like,
and
I don't know.
and I don't know if this like, I have some weird sense of humor, so, like, I don't know if this is going too far here, but, like, what if they, like, even stage a, like reenactment? But, like
No.
it doesn't hit anything. It doesn't hit anything.
Well,
But,
I mean,
like
I think they said that. They were like, "Oh, it's going to take the same exact journey. It's gonna take the same path as Titanic and dock in New York like it should've," and everything. I'm like, "I understand the sentiment. I understand the symbolism," but
but, like but, like, they stage it, right? So they, like they even, like, build, like, an iceberg right where it was.
In the middle of the ocean?
They build it, yeah, because they can do that, and but they miss it. They actually avoid it, and then everyone cheers, and
to
then it
try to, like,
docks.
course correct history
Yeah.
100 odd
I don't know,
years later.
that's my screwed up sense of humor going like, "That'd be kinda cool if they did that."
Yeah, I don't
I
like
don't
the
know.
ocean.
So you're a no.
No.
You're a no. Um, yeah, so but I know also but they did make a Titanic 2 like, didn't they? Like, that's a thing, like a movie, isn't it? Like
That
a
movie, it was by the Asylum, I think, which
Yeah, that's
do
right.
like all the sci-fi kind of movies.
Yeah.
It
I
was
love
awful,
Yep.
awful, awful, but one of those bad movies that are just fun to watch because they tried to do the same thing. They were like, "Years later, like lightning will strike twice," like sort of thing. Oh, it's
Now,
bad.
have you seen any of the older adaptations, like A Night to Remember or any of those
Mhm.
ones?
Yep, I've seen A Night to Remember. I've been meaning I think I might have seen the, Barbara Steinweg one. Is that how you say her name? I think so. It's like Titanic
I
1953
think so, yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I've at least seen bits and pieces of, tons of other Titanic things and, like, the miniseries, that have come out over the years. Um,
I
yeah.
would imagine for, like, maybe, like so, like, if you were to watch A Night to Remember, right,
Yeah.
you would be able, I feel like, to just watch it and take it for what it is, right? Because 'Cause you're not too emotionally attached to Titanic. I feel like if I, because 'cause I've never seen it. I
Mhm.
feel like if I were to watch it, I'd go, "Okay,
That's not
when are
Leo.
we getting into Rose and Jack? Like, where are they on this particular where are they? Like, I know they're here somewhere. Can the camera pan real quick?"
Yeah, I think, it's kind of a weird thing, right? Because I know, people that are really big Titanic enthusiasts typically will not prefer James Cameron's Titanic. They'll be the first people to be like, "Watch the vastly superior film, A Night to Remember." And I'm like, I don't disagree, like, yes, it's a good movie, like, especially for the time it was made, like, I think the effects actually look pretty darn good. Of course, they used miniatures, but, like, it looks pretty good for a movie that came out in the '50s. Um, but I also think there's, like, different levels to, like, the appreciation, I guess. I mean, when it comes to James Cameron's, it's like you have to appreciate it for the things it did for Titanic and its legacy and bringing the ship to life in a way that we had never seen before in such amazing detail. Going down to the wreck, filming in those conditions, getting us some of the, clearest footage we've ever seen. Doing repeated dives to get even more information. There's like so many things that this movie did for Titanic and the Titanic community, and it created so many more enthusiasts. So I mean, I feel like there's a lot to be appreciated there, but I know that there are some people who are just not fans. They're just not fans. They can't get past the Jack and Rose thing, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what they don't want to hear. Like you saying,
Yep.
like, where's Jack and Rose? They're like, if only James Cameron, wrote about, used real characters in the movie. And people tend to like uplift A Walk to Remember. I mean, A Walk to Remember. I always say that. A Night to Remember, because I do love A Walk to Remember. But yeah, they uplift A Night to Remember by saying like it focused on real people, but there were fictional characters in that movie too.
Yeah.
And I feel like people act like there weren't for some reason. I'm like, they were all like composites of, things, but a lot of stuff, was also fictionalized in that movie. So
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it does tell a very like accurate account to what was known at the time. But yeah,
I feel like no matter what adaptation you're gonna find or any future going forward, because I mean, I would like to think there's gonna at some point the like a really good new adaptation of Titanic will come out at some point.
That's a theory.
I don't know when. I don't know.
HBO Max miniseries a la Chernobyl.
Sure, yeah, like something like that. Like so like you're gonna have like because you have to, because I can't imagine there was anything actually truly, you know what I mean, interesting going on the ship itself. Like the thing that's interesting is the collision. That's the thing that's interesting. So we have to build around that. So that's why James Cameron was like, all right, well, Romeo and Juliet on Titanic. That's perfect. Makes sense. So you have to do something like that. Otherwise, it's just going to be a bunch of boring people walking around. And
See,
then
like that's the thing. Like I'm sure that there were some interesting stories, and people on the Titanic. I have heard, stories. But yeah, it's kind of sad that, if you're thinking of making a movie, and especially the kind of movies James Cameron makes, where, he's go big or go home with like everything he does, it couldn't just be that. It had to be something that he knew would connect to the masses, reach the masses, entertain the masses. And it is sad because I remember my mom, she always told me that when she saw the movie and it starts with the submersibles, she was like, wait a minute, is this some sort of exploration documentary? Like, this isn't what I signed up for. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, anything that would, if it was anything other than what he did, the reception would have been different. You know what I mean? Like people weren't signing up to watch them do a National Geographic special on the Titanic, or, even like a dramatization of, real stories and stuff. And that is kind of sad, but that people don't want to see that. Like give us the Hollywood flair. But
yeah,
I mean, I love it, but I understand why some big enthusiasts might have some resentment on some level there. But
then funny enough, he does go on a few years later and he does Ghosts of the Abyss.
Yep.
And he does that. He does
and National Geographic specials.
Still to this day, like there's
coming
one coming
out next week.
Yeah, there's one coming out
this
next
weekend.
week where they're gonna debunk the whole freaking door thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah. Like Mythbusters did it a decade ago when you were on The Voice, but James Cameron didn't do it. So now James Cameron's going to do it.
But they've put out footage from that already. And now he's saying that Jack could have lived, apparently, if there were, but there's like a lot of variables and different reasons. And I'm just like, we've been over this. Like he said before, like he has to die because the script says he dies.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that's the reason Jack had to die is because James Cameron wrote it in the script. Move on.
It's like that's the whole point. And it's not only that, it's like if he lived, the whole purpose of the movie would be destroyed. Like
Yeah.
like you can't have a movie about the Titanic and expect people to connect emotionally to it if everyone lived happily ever after. Like, you know what I mean? Like if our two main characters lived, it'd be like, what? Like you need to convey that sense of loss in some way. And
My argument: get a smaller door.
I was gonna say maybe they just made the door too big. That's all.
Yeah.
Like they should have shrunk the door, like cracked it, cracked it in half or something.
And it also
Yeah.
is not a door. It's part of a piece of paneling
There you
in
go.
like the first class lounge or smoking room, something like that. It's like a paneling above a door, but it's not a door.
Well, see, there you go. So, ladies and we're gonna play Titanic trivia with Brittany. So, right there makes me excited because I thought I was a big fan of Titanic, and I thought it was a door.
I think we all did for a while. I mean, I learned that maybe probably like over 10 years ago. but yeah.
Oh, only 10 years ago.
All right, let's really try and catch up on this chat here because look at this question: did you win? The voice.
Yeah, no, we answered that.
Yeah, we'll try to catch up here. Hi, what's going on, Eric? Nice yellow shirt, Haley. It's SpongeBob. It's under the water, so that kind of plays into Titanic.
And you're wearing blue.
And I'm wearing blue
for that on purpose
for water. Hey gang, wow, Brittany, your mic sounds amazing. What's going on, Huck? Yeah, she's a professional podcaster. That's why it sounds very good on her end. Hey, Haley, Ed, and Brittany, what's going on? Kevin! Everybody saying hey to everybody. I love it. I love it. This movie was so good, says Eric. Let me hold on. It disappeared. There it is. It's just long as hell. Well, funny enough, this is a movie that I never, ever, ever feel the length. And I saw Avatar: The Way of Water, and I felt the length of Avatar: The Way of Water.
Same.
Okay.
I felt like they could have shaved off like at least a half hour from that thing. And I felt bad because like I did kind of doze off for like 15 or 20 minutes, like right before the last act. But then the last act just kind of turns into if Titanic was on Pandora. And so I was like, oh, okay, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I literally just blame it on the fact that it's motion capture, and it's no matter how good it is, we can still decipher that we're watching something truly artificial. And so you really have to deliver something. Otherwise we are going to, like you said, start dozing off because whereas something like Titanic, yes, there's CGI going on with the surroundings, but it's a human story. So I feel like that's why I don't feel the length. Do you feel the length of Titanic?
No, I mean, I guess it depends.
Depends.
I guess it depends. Like, if it comes on like TV or something, and I'm like, because I'm not a super mega big fan. I do enjoy the movie, but you clearly have like the one up on me. But it's like, if it just so happens to be on the TV, yes, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, the movie's still on. But like when we watch
TV
it
with commercials, it's on for like 7 hours.
literally. But I mean, when we watched it last time, it went by because I was like, man, I really don't feel like watching that long of a movie right now. And then I was like, all right, maybe I'll tune in for a couple minutes, and then the credits roll. And I'm like, wow,
flies by, hooks you. I don't like American Idol or America's Got Talent because of Simon Cowell. I hate that guy. All right, well, good for you, Eric. What's going on, Brent? Hello, fans of something. Hey, Huck, love the trivia. Yes, trivia is very awesome. We will be on the 13th for couples night, so looking forward to that. I got to rewatch Titanic. Well, go to the theater, Eric. Support this thing. And it's not a door. It's not a door. Sorry to hear about everyone's loss. I've lost both my parents, so I've been there as well. It's tough, but we do move on. Hugs.
Hugs.
Yes, hugs.
It's part of life. It's
the worst part of life.
Oh, horror. And what's going on, Nadia? Are we speaking of grief today of all days? Yeah, I think it's her 1-year anniversary of her pet, her dog, dog, right? Dog, Nadia. I don't want to get this wrong. It's a dog, right?
Dog.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's another thing that happened to me too. My dog passed away like
Oh,
like a
geez.
month before my Nana. I forgot about that. That's terrible. But
God.
yeah, so it was a lot. But yeah.
Yeah. Ed, you want a smaller Pepsi? I can drink that in one sip.
Look
Oh
at his
yeah.
little
A
thing.
little mini can of
This little
Pepsi.
guy.
Awesome tattoos, Haley and Brittany. I appreciate you both sharing your stories. Rachel, hello, Rachel. I'm going to see Titanic February 10th. First time ever.
Ever.
Oh my
That is
gosh.
for you, Rachel. You are you're just gonna have a, as they say on the Flintstones, a gay old time.
First
Crazy.
time
I
ever.
can't even imagine.
Afghan girl. Hi.
Hey.
Hello, guys. Can't wait for the Titanic chat. Heck yes, we're getting into
Yeah.
this. David, you're new. I assume you're coming
Hi.
from Brittany. Wanted to say that I discovered the Titanic podcast during the pandemic, and it was great because I didn't know that other people felt the same way about it as I did.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I knew other people had to, but
One of the biggest movies of all time. Yes. So excited to see Brittany and hear her once again. I got my tickets for IMAX as well. Curious if you'll be wearing Titanic swag to the showing. I can't decide.
Are we seeing it in IMAX?
We might. Are
Yeah.
you gonna cosplay?
yeah, I can't just. I'm going by myself, so I mean, like, it's kind of weird showing up like with my popcorn and my drink and my like in some sort of Titanic gear by myself. So probably not. But I mean, I might maybe wear something like this. I'm in a dark theater the whole time anyway, and it's winter in Boston, so I'm gonna have a coat on my way in and out. So.
Holy crap, you did shave. Yes, I did.
Everybody look.
Ed, I'm still not used to the baby face look. Yeah, well, I had that beard for what, a year?
Ever. Too long.
Rachel, love her podcast. Can't wait for her to finish it.
Yeah, wait, how far along? I'm sorry.
We're like just a little bit over halfway through the movie, so we still got a long way to go.
Yeah, but still half.
That's awesome though. Like you got a lot of content. Like you know what I mean? You're not at the tail end.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were like, for this movie, it's like, oh, we're almost done because it's so long. But yeah.
Before I forget, I want to mention, have you seen the episode of John Bernthal's podcast where he talks to Shia LaBeouf?
I have. I did see it. And it was difficult for me because this isn't his first time, you know what I mean? Like there's been other things like incidences or incidences? Whatever. Things that have happened with him here and there over the years, but they've been more like relatively minor. And those of us who were fans of his just like kept letting things slide, right? And now this was like where he's like, "Oh no, this is my rock bottom." And I'm like, "Okay, but you said that about the last thing that happened. You said that was your rock bottom and you were going to get yourself together after that. And now this happened. And now you're saying this is your rock bottom and you're really getting yourself together now." And so I'm just like, I'm just at a point where I can't really believe what he says. So I'm just like, until he, goes years with a clean slate, I'm not gonna, I feel like I can't really hop on the Shia train once again. So that's sort of where I'm at with that. But
I don't know what Shia LaBeouf did this time, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask.
We'll Google it after the show.
Okay.
I thought it was an interesting episode, but I'm not super familiar with his past interviews. I thought it was like the first time he's ever done an interview in years kind of thing.
Well, it was like in like at least since the news came out.
Okay.
So maybe like 2 years or something.
I still have my Titanic VHS sealed with 2 tapes.
2 tapes.
Very cool.
I got mine back there on my shelf.
Yep. My mom had the double VHS. We watched over and over again. I've probably seen it 100 times, but not since moving out of our house in 2003. Dude, that was 20 years ago, man. So you're ripe for going to the theater.
Yeah.
You're right.
Still can't believe 2003 is 20 years ago. But
I think I have yet to meet somebody who has not had the 2 tape VHS.
Oh, it's iconic. It's iconic. And you know who really has it? Goodwill. Go to
I
a
was
good
just
wall.
gonna say, every single thrift store you will find one.
Yep. On Tubi, they actually have released a very bad Titanic too, and it's based along the lines of the ship being haunted. I think that's what you were talking about.
Oh, there's another one. There's called Titanic 666. Yeah, there's Titanic 666. I think that's the Tubi one. I watched like the first, I don't know, 5 minutes of it, and I was like, this is insane. There's like influencers on the Titanic 3 because in this in this universe, I guess the Titanic 2 Asylum movie existed. So now it's the Titanic 3. And they go on the
Lore.
There's
Titanic
lore
3.
and continuity,
The
and
Titanic universe.
it's a franchise.
And like once again, but this time this one seems like even more disrespectful because it's supposed to be like the ghosts of the dead like coming back to haunt the Titanic, and it's all gruesome, like scary people. I'm like, I don't think that, the ancestors of these people would be
Yeah.
proud and happy of, seeing their ancestors portrayed as demented evil ghosts.
Well, and then it's just like, because I mean, we haven't gotten it yet, to my knowledge, but we got that the Michael Bay Pearl Harbor, which is essentially Michael Bay's Titanic,
Mhm.
and I mean that's like very loosely based on it, but it's pretty respectful. Again, they do a kind of like a love triangle thing,
Yep.
if you, but it like has me thinking. What Titanic is over 100 years old, right? So okay, so and now we're doing this kind of stuff where we're very very literally pooping on the tragedy of what that was.
Mhm.
Like we've lost the sense that that was a real thing that happened. Real people died. It probably caused a lot of families to.
Oh, yeah. Like, the
You know what I mean?
people who are related to those people, like, Titanic is such a big part of their life?
Yeah. And so it has me thinking, okay, 100 years from now, what are we going to be making movies about 9/11, but like parodying 9/11? It's just like, where does it stop? Like,
That's actually like, that's something I've thought about, and there actually is a guy did a video called, like, "What if there was, like, a Titanic-style 9/11 movie?" And he did, like, a whole video breaking down what that might be like in a way that would still be respectful and tell the story of 9/11, and it was actually kind of interesting. It wasn't that bad. Like, the comments are like, "Hey, this could actually maybe work." But no, I think I've thought about that before, and it's kinda complex because no matter which way you slice it, it was a tragedy and people died. But I think something that makes it different is that, to me, Titanic always seemed more like a natural disaster. And not to say that that's like, "Oh, it was a natural disaster, so it's fair game," but it's like, it's different than trying to make a movie in the same lane as Titanic about something that was the premeditated murder of thousands of people. Like, you know
right,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah. Good
like,
point. Yeah.
I'm just kinda like, because then you also have, there is Pearl Harbor, though, which also was a premeditated decision to bomb America. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, because that falls into the category of a war movie, and obviously there's a million of those.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, but 9/11 for me, that's too touchy
Setting
of
the
a
bar.
thing because it's like that's truly horrifying. Like, that's something that, I remember from my childhood that I still have nightmares of sometimes. It was one of those things that, you saw that just really affected you. Um, so I can't see that working. But I know most people do bring that up as like a comparison, but I
Yeah.
feel like they are two very different circumstances.
They 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 made a movie a couple of years ago with Charlie Sheen, and Whoopi Goldberg, and they were stuck in the Twin Towers.
I mean, there
And
has been Twin Tower movies. There was the one with Nicolas Cage.
yeah,
There was what else?
United 93
United 93. They Remember Me
with
with
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson, which like
Yep.
used 9/11 as like a plot twist,
Rain
which
over
which
me.
did not go over well with people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not like they haven't tried to at least like dramatize
Dramatize it, yeah.
the story of 9/11, but yeah.
It's crazy. Let me see here. Oh, Jason. Hello, Jason. My favorite movie.
Oh.
I've watched it 237 times since its release on December 19th, 1997. Going to see it next Saturday in D-Box 3D. Dude, D-Box is an insane thing. I wish
What
we
is
had
it?
D-Box near us. It's basically the seats move.
Oh, so it's like 4D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although for this one, because I've only ever seen movies in D-Box that are like action-y movies. Like
The chairs sink.
I saw Fate of the Furious, and that makes total sense because it's basically like every time a car swerved, your seat swerved. It's like, what are they going to do with this movie?
At least the whole first hour and a half.
Stationary.
You'll get like wind in your hair when they're on the deck. You'll get like the smell of seawater.
But that's cool, man.
That's
Yeah, definitely masterpiece of a movie. 100% agree.
Nuts.
I know Jason from the Titanic movie group on Facebook.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hello, Jason. Eddie's Films and Stuff. One of our good friends. What's going on there, man?
Hello.
We got Brent being very trolly. So I believe he was taken care of from the mods.
I guess I'm just 16.
Let's see here. We got Rock Music Forever. Hey, Ed and Haley, sorry to go off topic, but Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's on Tubi right now. Oh, okay. From the last stream.
Oh, wow.
So, okay, cool. I put it on my watch list. Rock Music. Loving the old school TV VHS combo.
Oh, mine back here.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Hold on. Because I do love seeing vintage stuff.
Which way? Right. Yeah, right there.
It is vintage.
It's from like 2004, I think, but
that is awesome.
I probably definitely had, if not that exact same one.
It's from my Nana's house. She let me have it like a few years ago because she wasn't using it, and I was like, "Can I like have this in my room, please?"
Thought it was the coolest thing. I could put my tapes in the TV itself.
The coolest thing though is that I hooked this thing up to Roku, so I can stream on it, which is really cool. So I'll curl up and watch a movie sometimes at night, and it's very comforting and nostalgic.
Crisp, cool, like 480p.
Let's see here. We got Afghan Girl. OMG. Yes, the 666 one. My mistake. It was horrible. I saw Titanic in theaters when it first released and saw the 3D re-release. Yes, the 2012 when it was the 100th anniversary of the actual sinking. I saw it, and that was the best 3D I'd ever seen in my life because I found out James Cameron, the way he does his Titanic 3D is half the movie is still in 2D. So it's not killer on your eyes, whereas a lot of 3D, the whole screen is 3D. I took my glasses off a lot during that one, and I was like, half the movie isn't even 3D.
Yeah.
So
it's 3D where it matters, and where it can heighten it a little bit.
So I'm really excited to see. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like you would know more about this than I do, but the only thing that's new about this one is the sound design. That's what I heard.
Maybe the sound design, but also it's the 4K restoration, or the 4K upgrade. And then high frame rate. There might be some high frame rate in there and high dynamic range, I think, HDR.
Okay.
But I'm a little concerned about the high frame rate. That's the only thing.
That's like it'll just look a little sped up kind of thing.
No, it ends up kind of the opposite. It looks more like a soap opera, like the way soap operas are filmed. Like everything's very smooth and like almost looks like a video game, kind of like it just looks like weird.
Are there reviews on it? Have people seen it yet?
I don't know if they have. I did notice, I think the Rotten Tomatoes critic score went up by like 1%. So I feel like maybe someone did see it. And
let's get it to that 90. It's right on the cusp of being a 90.
I can't believe that. I also can't believe the audience rating.
What is it? I don't know.
I feel like it's in the 60s, right?
69%. I'm like, there is no way that one of the most popular movies of all time that all of us as citizens of the world went to see multiple times and still gave $350 million to in 2012 would have that low of an audience rating. It has to be people review bombing it because it's popular.
That's what I'm saying. Like the people who feel strongly about it are going to be the ones that go and review it.
That's yeah, exactly. Like you and I, and even like like a casual fan, we're not like, I mean, maybe you like I feel like maybe you would just to sway it, but I mean, I love the film, but I never feel obligated to add a review anywhere about it, because it's just like, so
because like I
people
like it,
people that hate it, they're like, I hate this movie. I hate this movie.
and they'll make it known.
I mean, same like on Letterboxd, it has like a 3.8, but that's gone up. It used to be like a 3.7 or something. And I'm like, I hope that this re-release can bump it up to the 4.0 it deserves.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be at least 4.0.
I'm more likely to believe the Letterboxd going up because I feel like Rotten Tomatoes is more known to the common folk, where Letterboxd is more of like the social media for movie niche.
Yeah.
I've gotten like addicted to Letterboxd over the last year.
Yes. Gotta follow you. Fritzky, what's going on, Fritzky? Eddie, what's up? Does anyone else know who Gabriel Luna is?
Name sounds very familiar.
He was in Terminator Dark Fate. He was the main villain in that one, the Rev 9. He's in The Last of Us. He was the brother to Joel in that first episode. I don't know if you watched The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Anyways, I told Fritzky his profile picture right here looks very much like Gabriel Luna. So Durant Cinema,
Dave.
a fellow Bostonian, actually.
Oh.
He's in Massachusetts, as well as Tony's Movies and More. So you're all in the Massachusetts area. I have a lot of family in Braintree.
Okay.
So.
That was where I was almost going to see the movie until I found it somewhere else. And I was like, oh, okay.
Nice. Let's see here. Very cool to have you in here, Dave. Fritzky. Being born post 9/11, it's weird to enter. It's weird to enter.
To have entered the world.
Oh, to have entered the world. Thank you. After the events have already occurred. Yeah.
I was born 5 days after 9/11.
Oh,
yeah, 5 days after 9/11.
I teach high schoolers, and we were just talking about this the other day. Like I run a club 2 days a week. And yeah, we were talking about that because these kids are like 15 years old. Like they were born in like 2007. I'm like, this is so crazy. And that came up in conversation.
Like the crazy thing is I'm 30, right? So like that's like a lot of people are like, oh, you're old. But it's just like I don't even really truly remember 9/11. Like I remember being in school, and then I remember being taken out of school and watching it on TV vaguely. So I don't even have vivid memories of the event.
No, so we're the same age. I'm going to be 30 in 6 months. So yeah, I was in like 2nd or 3rd grade, I think, when 9/11 happened. And I have the same memory. Like I remember them telling us that we're all going to be sent home because something happened in New York. And I was a wise guy. I was like, excuse me, if it happened in New York, then why do we have to go home? Like I didn't understand.
Wait, were you still in Massachusetts?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
I didn't understand, like, and the fact that the planes left from Boston as well was like, that was, I guess, a big deal. So,
well, then dang, why didn't I say that? Because I was in Florida.
We
really don't need to be exiting.
I didn't get it, but I get it now, obviously. But yeah, same memories of like going home, watching it on TV, but those images really stuck with me. So,
yep. Also, Fritzky's going to drop you a follow on Letterboxd.
Hey.
Also, I feel like we all need to follow each other because I didn't even know you're on Letterboxd. So,
oh yeah, I'm on there now.
we'll have to do that. Let's see here. As a physical media collector, I need Titanic on 4K. Well, Eddie, I think you might be a little screwed just because Disney owns, right? Disney is the owner now of 20th.
I think we might be getting one though. I've seen some of those like 4K rumor release blogs and stuff say that Titanic might be getting one.
I mean,
after this release,
it would be smart. Just the unfortunate thing is a lot of Disney movies apparently don't get releases because Disney is kind of stingy on that stuff, like Barbarian, the movie Barbarian from last year.
Or they probably want you to like stream it if you can or something.
Yeah.
You want to spend money on Disney Plus so bad.
Well, hopefully it does, because honestly, like as much as I love the first time on Blu-ray release, I actually don't like that cover. that much.
Mm.
The one where it's them, him holding her, and then it's like right under is the ship.
I kind of like that one. I don't like
Tilted.
the new one.
Like her poster?
You don't like the new one?
The new one that like went viral, people talking about her hair and like everything looks kind of weird. It's also strange that the ship it's not even on the poster. Like that's my biggest gripe. I'm like, where's Titanic?
That one right there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's weirder if you watch or not watch, but if you look up let me see if I can quickly pull it up here. If you pull up I think the UK or somewhere overseas got a super like long poster, and it shows the bottom of Jack and Rose, and it's just like okay, what's going on here?
I know there's like the 3D one, like Titanic 3D that you can buy. Like it has like a long shot of that scene where they're like embracing and just about to kiss, and it looks like a painting almost. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, but
of course now, like I was looking at it yesterday, it's like you see their like entire body, and her arm is in the weirdest position ever.
Is it right?
No, it's like you see their entire body, like their shoes you can even see. It's just, of course I can't find it now. Anyways, yeah, so hopefully when they re-release it, if they re-release it on physical, they give it a true like perfect cover. Because honestly, I feel like the best cover that's ever come out is just a standard DVD, which is the standard poster right behind you.
Yeah,
I don't think anything's ever beaten that. So back to the chat after Eddie's comment here, and then we're gonna get into some of the trivia. We're gonna test your knowledge here. Partly inspired by Huck here, but I was like, hopefully Huck doesn't say we're ripping him off here. Like, we're not going to become known for trivia. We just wanted to play it on this episode. Titanic is 5 stars. Anyone who gives it anything less hates movies. Eddie, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you ranked it. He did like a top 10 Leo films, and Titanic was number 1. So for me, it's number 2. Because when I'm talking about Leonardo,
right,
I don't think you can beat What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Oh, you should have asked me. I could have answered that.
Yeah,
for you.
Like in terms of performance, that's the movie he should have won his Oscar for, is as Arnie Grape. Because had I not known who Leonardo DiCaprio was, I would have thought I was watching someone who actually was mentally challenged.
Yeah, no.
So, but I assume this is your favorite. This is your top Leo film.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
But what's number 2?
Probably Catch Me If You Can.
Okay, all right. That's
I really liked that one. Yeah.
I feel like yours is 1, 2, 3. Django Unchained.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Django Unchained is good. Him as a villain.
Candy. Wait.
Calvin Candy.
Calvin Candy.
Yep. I have Celine Dion's "Will Always Love You" on my iPod, and sometimes listen to it when I work out.
iPod.
Dave is known for listening to movie scores when he works out, so I can just see him like pumping iron like Arnold.
Are we gonna ignore the iPod?
And he's listening to Celine Dion. Oh, are we gonna ignore the iPod? Yeah, Dave, you still have an iPod. Good for you, man.
What generation iPod?
Good for you. Oh, nice. Mass represent. Ed, I just finished Disaster Artist. I ordered another copy and arrived today, so I had to watch. Very cool. Very cool. Rock music. You got some guilty pleasures on your playlist? Tell us. I don't know. Okay, I guess they're talking to each other. Let's see here. God, I'm old. I was in 10th grade when 9/11 happened. Yep. That's how it goes. Oh wait, did I skip Huck's comment?
No, I'm like ready to crawl under the table with everybody saying how old they were during 9/11.
Okay. I saw. Wait, where's Huck's
it's further
comment?
down. It's further down.
Oh, there it is. Trivia is for everyone. Play away. All right. Well, on that note, because I mean, he is the trivia guy here. What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say hi to Vin.
Vin? Oh, Hard Copy Blues. What's going on, Vin? The news coverage was literally 24/7. Oh yeah, dude. Glad to have you in here. Hopefully you're still in here with us. All right. So with that, trivia is for everyone. Play away. All right. So I don't know. Do you have the chat pulled up on your end as well?
Me? Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see.
All right. So just for this section, can you switch it over to the private? Like on the top, it says private.
Yes.
We're going by the
done.
honor system here.
That way, yes, like how
I
Heck does it.
promise.
That way, you're not getting any answers from the chat. Because chat play along as well. I think this will make it more interactive. But we
I'm
have
scared.
some where's this on? Group Games 101. I don't know. I just typed in Titanic trivia. And this
Well,
popped up.
if it's from one of those websites, usually some of those are pretty easy. So unless the person like really went in, then I
Scroll
could be in
down.
trouble.
Well, it's gonna start easy. It's gonna start easy.
Doing all of them?
We're doing all of these
Oh,
things.
good.
Yeah,
Christ on a bicycle.
we're doing all of these things. All right, so here we go.
Oh God,
Chat play along
my
as
heart's
well.
racing.
All right, here we go.
Remember, it's been 2 years since I've watched this movie all the way through. So, but I mean, I have it ingrained into my DNA. I know this, but
This one is easy. This one's easy. In what year was Titanic released?
1997.
Boom. Number 2. How much was the production budget?
$200 million. It was originally $100 million, but then it went over budget another $100 million, and that was
You got it.
the most expensive ever made at the time.
You got it. Number 3.
No,
What?
just that for inflation.
Yeah.
Number 3. What item was considered the heart of the ocean?
Oh, you mean like necklace, or what it was based on?
Yeah. What item is considered the heart of the ocean?
So I guess what they based it on, the Hope Diamond, or
Yep.
yeah, okay.
The answer here is a blue diamond necklace.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, I guess they meant like, what is the heart of the ocean? It's a blue diamond necklace.
Give us the full name of who Rose is engaged to.
Kaladin Hockley. I don't know if he has a middle name.
Here it says Kaladin Cal Hockley.
Nickname.
Khaled in quotes, yeah.
How did Jack used to make money?
Drawings used to make money, or like, I'm like, did they mention that? Or like he used to, I know the whole quote in my head, like he lived on a squid boat in Monterey, and then he was doing portraits for 10 cents a piece somewhere, but yeah, it was portraits.
Damn.
Drawings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good. Let's see here. Number 6. Which character is considered new money by those in first class?
Molly Brown, the unsinkable Molly Brown.
Damn. 7. What does Rose practice doing like a man before being caught by her mother?
Spitting off the side of the ship.
And I love how you're even getting like
the exact
answer, which is weird. Like, not like saying hawking a loogie.
Yeah.
Number 8. What iconic line does Jack say when he's at the front of the ship?
I'm the king of the world.
That's easy.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Okay. Number 9. How did Jack win his ticket for Titanic?
In a poker game.
Literally, that's what it says. In a poker game.
This is scary.
I swear to God, I'm not looking.
Is this your blog?
What is this one? What was Rose talking to Mr. Andrew about when he said, quote, not enough by half, actually?
How many lifeboats were on board? Well, she said that she did the sum in her head while they were on a tour, and that she believes that there is not enough for everyone aboard. And he says about half, actually.
There you go. Who was Jack's traveling companion?
Fabrizio Del Rossi. Or De Rossi.
Last
Woo.
name.
Where was the ship heading?
New York.
And you're not even missing a beat.
How old was Rose at the start of the voyage?
17. Or was she? Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, I don't think she was 16 and then turned 17 on the ship. They didn't say that.
This one is so stupid. Who sang the movie theme?
Celine Dion.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. This round is one that most true fans should smash.
God.
What major star was initially a favorite for the lead male role?
Matthew McConaughey.
Yep. What was the name of the ship's captain?
Edward Smith.
Who was Thomas Andrew?
The ship's designer, shipbuilder.
There you
Yeah,
go.
shipbuilder.
How old was Leo when he played Jack Dawson?
I believe 22 or 23.
Damn.
22.
Damn. All right. That's good. What leading actor suffered from pneumonia during filming?
Was it Kate?
Yep,
Where's Kate?
Yeah.
it was Kate. Which Hollywood superstar wanted to play Jack but had a fee too high to be considered by the producers?
I don't know if I know this one.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Oh, she's stumped.
What Hollywood superstar wanted to play Jack but had a fee too high to be considered by the producers?
Was it Tom Cruise or something like that?
Damn! It was Tom Cruise.
Wow. Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I have all of this stuff is like in filing cabinets in my head of like things I've read over the years, and I was like trying to locate the file.
It's basically the SpongeBob episode where his head is on
movie.
fire.
Yes,
Oh,
that's what I always think of. Where he's like, "Where's the memory? Where's the memory?"
Oh, I was thinking WXY.
Z, here it is, just like you said. This one's easy. Which actress played Molly Brown?
Molly, Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. How many leading Hollywood ladies turned down the role of Rose before Kate Winslet was approached? So just give us, because it says there's...
I don't know how many.
Yeah, there's 5. So give us as many of the 5 as you potentially can.
So like actual names.
Like these are the ones that turned down the role of
Actresses.
Rose. Yes.
Okay, I know Gwyneth Paltrow
Yep.
Yeah.
was one of them.
Yep.
Oh God, who else? That's like the one I always see come up all the time.
That's fine.
I
I would say the rest of them are pretty popular, except for one I've never heard of.
Yeah. I think we're thinking of the same one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like part of me wants to say Winona Ryder, but I don't think
Damn! Can you give
Really?
us one more? Yep, you're 2 for 2. Can you give us one more?
Oh,
One of these is actually funny because of
Right?
yeah. I'll talk after. One of them's funny.
because I'm trying to think. I don't want to say and be wrong. I feel like I'm on those game shows where it's like you have to give the exact answer.
First a singing competition show, now a game show.
No, because she would have been too young, probably.
If you don't want to,
or would she have Kate Hudson?
She's not on here.
No, because I was gonna say she would have been too young, maybe.
Yeah, if you want to leave it at that, that's fine.
I don't know. I think
Well,
those are the 2 I got.
So we got Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, okay.
Gabrielle Anwar. Never heard of her. And the funny one is Claire Danes, because a year
oh
earlier,
my God,
Leo and her were in Romeo and Juliet.
I was just watching something where they were talking about that. Like 2 weeks ago, I watched something like that. Oh my God.
Which is also
I knew that. Let the record show that I did know that.
She did know that.
I just like I love how funny and just serendipitous that is, that in the course of 2 years, Leonardo DiCaprio played Romeo twice.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Like, I love that. Like, it's so funny to me. Like,
and that was something that he didn't really want to do, but he was like, I don't want to discriminate against the picture just because it's so big and like it seems like a good opportunity and a challenge. I'm like, well, I'd say it paid off. So
yeah, I mean, makes him a butt ton of money.
Yeah. How old was Billy Zane's character Cal supposed to be when engaged to 17-year-old Rose?
Roughly 30.
Yep.
Ew.
30 engaged to 17. Welcome to the 1912s.
Ew.
Yep. I know. I saw people the other day trying to say that Jack was too old for Rose when he was supposed to be like 20. And I'm like, she was engaged to a 30-year-old, but okay.
Yep, that sure is a fact.
And it was a different time.
Now this one, which leading star looks back with embarrassment on their performance and wishes they could redo the whole thing?
Kate.
See, I didn't even know that.
No.
Like, that's really true. She's embarrassed by the movie?
I don't think she's embarrassed. She just she hates her American accent. She doesn't think it's very good. And just since she was so young, she's like, oh, I would have done that differently, or I should have done that differently, or pronounced this poorly in my bad
Aw.
American accent, like stuff like that. So
Well, to be fair, she was, I mean, the 1912 sort of like American accent isn't like how we speak today.
yeah, it's very I would assume it would be more like transatlantic-y, like
Yeah.
those old movies anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
and Titanic was made like in the style of those kind of old Hollywood movies. So it kind of makes sense for her to kind of speak with one of those accents, you know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so this is an interesting thing. I don't know if this has ever been talked about heavily, but something that I'm always like catching on to during stuff is the dialect, like the actual way they talk, right? So this is taking place in 1912, and I'm sure there's a line like I was just going through my
Oh.
head where it's like Jack is saying something like, "You're gonna make it, Rose. You're gonna," or something
No,
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
he says we're gonna make it, Rose.
We're gonna make it. Now, is
Yeah.
that something they would actually say in 1912? Gonna?
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
he
don't
was
know.
sort of like a street rat, so he
He
might
was.
have been had slang. But there is another line in the movie, and you might know what I'm talking about, where it's also Leo that says something, and somebody pointed that didn't even exist. Not
Yeah,
gonna.
it was the lake. He said he grew
Yeah,
up on Lake Wissota, or whatever, and that was a man-made lake that wasn't made until, like, 1916 or something like that,
yeah,
and then people were like, "Jack's a time traveler lore," and
yeah.
everything.
Interesting. Like I like that stuff just always fascinates me, like the language itself that's being represented. Like when we watched Prey, like that new Predator movie, like they're talking perfect
Oh, yeah.
English, and it's just like this is like taking place in like 1600 like Indian stuff, like right, like a tribe or something.
Yeah.
Like it just like it annoyed me. Anyways, moving on. How does Rose impress bystanders when she goes to a quote real party?
She stands on her tippy toes, does ballet.
Tippy
Yep.
toes. Ooh.
What song does the band perform as the ship's sinking accelerates?
Near my God to thee.
Nearer my God to thee. How does Rose want to be drawn in the very steamy sketching scene?
Like one of Jack's French girls.
Yep. Why does Cal laugh when he recalls giving Rose his coat?
Because he put the diamond in it. And he put the coat on her. He put the diamond in the coat.
I put the coat on her. God, like, yeah, like stuff like that is just ingrained in my head.
So many memes around
Yeah.
Cal. Like, I have a child.
Oh, God. What does Rose use to free Jack from his handcuffs?
An axe.
An axe. That always irked me because she closes her eyes and it's a perfect.
And she gets it in one take.
It's a perfect swing. Let's be real. That would have been the very first Saw movie.
Yeah, Jack would have lost a hand. Yeah.
I want to play a game. What does a third class mother do to her children knowing they can't be saved?
She reads them a story. Well, tells them a story. Brings them
Yep.
back to their room.
Jeanette Goldstein.
Vasquez.
Yeah. Yep. The Janelle from T2.
I just watched the Alien movies
And she's in that, yeah.
as well, like the other day. But
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
What? Oh, okay, cool. All right, so we're getting to the end here. The scene of the elderly couple cuddling on the bed near the end is based on fact, but what did they refuse? But why did they refuse to use a lifeboat despite being offered one due to their wealth status?
This is worded strangely,
Yeah.
but I think is this where you go, I go? It was Isadora and Ida Strauss, and they didn't want to be separated because they had lived their whole lives together. And
Okay.
I don't know if that's the answer.
The answer here, it says they felt it unfair they felt it unfair before children were on board.
I never heard that part of the story before, actually, if that is accurate.
Interesting. What did Kate Winslet do to Leo when she first met him?
According to the internet lore, it's that she flashed him to break the ice.
There you go. She pulled a Tim Allen.
Oh,
Why can't Jack have gone ice fishing at Lake Wissota like he said?
'Cause it didn't exist at the time.
When do we see writer, director, producer James Cameron on screen?
I say never. There's a rumor, there are lots of rumors that he was in there a few different times, but I really don't think he was. Like, and I've watched the commentary with him. I feel like he would have commented if he was on screen at that moment, and he like never did, as far as recall. I'm sure I feel like the quiz probably says as a third class person with their beard getting checked. I don't know if that's what it says, but I know that's like the popular thing people say.
So this, I guess, is a technicality because it says his hands sketch Rose.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
a
that, yeah.
technicality.
But that's like
sort of
not
technicality.
him on screen.
Yeah.
And the way it was worded too.
Yeah. Which actress auditioned
Of
to play?
course, yeah. I knew that.
Which actress auditioned to play Jack's best girl, Cora?
Oh. Oh. Was it Kirsten Dunst? No.
According to this, no.
And I don't know if I know.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. Oh, I knew it. I knew it was someone because I was like, I could imagine it. But for some reason, I thought of Kirsten Dunst. Yeah.
What type of pet did DiCaprio have on set?
Oh my goodness. I've never heard of this either.
Oh
Yeah, but
boy.
we're stumping her.
Yeah.
We're crossing new territory. Well, this is cool. It says lizard.
Tell me why I was going to say something like that. I was like, it's probably not a dog. It's probably like some sort of reptile or something.
Jeez, do you hear that?
That's so cool because we have a bearded dragon.
Your ancestor.
How many Oscars did the movie win?
11, and it was nominated for 14.
11.
Wow. She even got the bonus point.
All right. Now, apparently this is based on the actual Titanic stuff.
Oh God, this is what I always get nervous about because
It
there's
says
so much, and there's so many, there's so many conflicting things. Like on the podcast, like I'll read stuff directly from a book, and I'll be like, "There's no way I got this information wrong," and someone will still email me and saying, actually, that wasn't correct, and I'm like, no.
Actually, what is it? Lake
Wissota
did exist. It's like, what? No, it didn't.
Good luck. This isn't the easiest round.
Yeah, that's what it says.
I'm prepared to be humiliated.
No,
Aw.
don't be humiliated. It's all fun.
nervous.
We're not humiliating anybody. On what date did Titanic sink?
Oh, April 15th, 1912, early morning.
Yep. The ship could accommodate 3,300 people. How many people could the lifeboats accommodate?
Well, probably a little, at least maybe around half of that.
Correct. Do you know the exact number? Because this has an exact number.
Yeah, that's like
I do not, and if I were to try to figure it out now, it would just be embarrassing because I suck at math. I am not Rose.
No, that's about half.
Yeah, 1,176, it says.
Maybe like 3 people more than half.
Yeah. There were reported 7. What does that say? Oh, there were a reported 710 third-class passengers on board. How many of these survived? That's really nutty. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why are we counting these
Okay,
people?
174 apparently.
Oh,
Numbers.
I was gonna say like probably only maybe 20% or something like that. Again, I suck at math. I don't know if 100 of that would be 20%.
I don't even know that any true Titanic historian could give you that particular
No, they
number.
could. There's definitely historians who are judging me hardcore right now. They're like, I knew it. She's just a movie fan. She doesn't know her history.
Well, to be fair, right? Like you're more a fan of the movie than the ship, right?
I mean, like growing up, I had books on both, and like I've watched things on both, of course, over the years. So there's like so much information that I've heard about the ship over the years, over my, since I was 5 years old. But of course, yeah, like the movie has always been like my main source of Titanic fandom.
Mhm.
But it's not like I know absolutely nothing about the history. You know, of course I've read my fair share of books from childhood and beyond, and I've watched documentaries and all that. But there's so much. Like I said, there is so much, and everything is always getting revised. I swear. You think you know, and people tell you you don't.
You don't.
You
Where
don't know
did
Jack.
where did the you don't know Jack? Where did the Titanic begin its voyage?
Southampton, England.
Very good.
Mm.
How many ice warnings did the ship's crew receive?
I want to say 5, but there was probably even more or less.
5 plus 1.
There was 6? Okay.
According to this thing.
Yeah, close.
How many people lost their lives?
Uh,
I love this one. I love this one. Doesn't give an exact number.
1,500 is the rough.
Yeah.
There you go. This one says over 1,500. But it's just like, it's funny. Like the previous number of questions are an exact total.
Yeah.
This one's over 1,500.
Mhm.
How long did it take for Titanic to sink after hitting the iceberg?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
There you go.
And isn't that when it sinks in the movie? Like at the 2 hour 40-minute
The
mark?
the thing is, if you take out the frame story stuff, the exact length of all the 1912 moments in the movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh.
So technically, like, the length of the movie is how
That's
long
funny.
it took Titanic to sink.
Love Cameron. Love
You know,
Cameron.
so that's like, that is crazy though. Like when you say you don't feel the runtime,
Mhm.
like plus maybe, you know, 20 or so, 20, 25 minutes for the frame story. Like when you're sitting there watching Titanic, that's more or less the time it took for the ship to sink. So
That's
you kind of
wild.
realize how that was not a lot of time, really.
No, absolutely not. No. There were 12 dogs on board, apparently. How many survived?
We were just talking about this in one of our last episodes of the podcast. We were talking about how dogs on the Titanic make it infinitely sadder. It's just so sad, these innocent little dogs.
Yeah, like why? Like Cameron showed a frozen baby. Why didn't he show a frozen dog? Or did
There
he?
was there was a dog. I've only seen a photo of it. I never saw it actually filmed, but there is a photo of a little like pit bull or a pug.
Frozen.
They're doing the doggy paddle right past Jack and Rose when they're in the water.
Aw, that's
And
sad.
it's a terrifying looking picture. It's this poor dog fighting for its life. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God they didn't include that. That's just one step too far.
My morbid sense of humor goes like how many people survived the Titanic? It's like, yeah, more or less 1,500. How many dogs? Everybody round up all the dogs, count how many there are left, and we have an exact number.
We have an exact number, which is
I want to say less than 5.
correct. You have the exact, or no? You just want to
3?
stick with boom,
Yeah.
boom. 3 dogs, and now they're all dead. Unfortunately, now they're all dead. And I think that's it. I think that's
Oh.
it.
And it ends with the dog question.
That
ends with
wasn't
the
too
dog
bad.
It ends with that dog question. Yeah, that's like one of the hardest moments for me personally during the movie when you see the baby. It's just like, wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, like, ouch.
It's just like it's like on one hand, I guess
We
good.
waited
'cause-
too long.
Well, it's like on one hand, I guess good, you know, because they don't even know.
Yeah.
So I guess better that way. There we go. Let's see
Wow.
here.
Round
Yeah,
of
you did
applause.
really good. You did really
Thank
good.
you. Ah.
I wasn't keeping track, but I want to say that was at least like a
That was like-
95.
Oh yeah, that was
There's only
definitely
one
an
or two in there that stumped you. So
Yeah, you would've gotten
Leo's pet. Leo's pet and something about the history.
Leo is equally phenomenal in Wolf of Wall Street, which I didn't see until last year. Amazing. Do you like the Wolf of Wall Street?
I have not seen that movie. It's weird. Like, I love Leo, but a lot of his movies just aren't my vibe. It was
Okay.
the same thing, like, when I was a fan of Shia, like, I loved him, like, and watching him act, but, like, I just didn't really like any of his movies. And it's the same kind of thing. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Something about the projects Leo picks don't really, like, vibe with me, but
Oh, we got a little moth in here. You see it?
Oh, I do. Hi, friend.
Let's see here. No bad movie. That belongs in a museum, Dave. What?
The third generation iPod.
I don't even know what they're talking about.
His third generation iPod.
Oh, his third generation iPod belongs in a museum. Okay, cool. Let's see here.
I've seen the Hope Diamond in person before.
Oh.
Because it's at the Smithsonian.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like on display somewhere. Yeah.
Oh wait, there's a. Oh, you mean from the movie?
No, like the actual Hope Diamond, right?
Oh, the real one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Where's the one from the movie?
I don't know where that's on display. It might be at the one in Vegas right now. I don't know if
Okay.
that's still there or
In the Luxor? In the Luxor?
yeah. I don't know though. I really don't know where that one is.
Yeah. Supposedly the original Hope Diamond, like the one in the Smithsonian, is supposedly cursed due to
Oh.
like it's like a urban legend, whatever.
I love this. Aren't you sponsoring this trivia, Huck? And then Huck says, yes, tonight's Titanic trivia is sponsored by Huck's Pop Culture Cafe. My money is on Brittany. Love you, Huck. Oh my God. Wow, she is killing it. I'd still be on the first question.
Oh yeah, you
Oh,
lost me.
no.
Yeah. Who directed the movie? Pass.
Fine dining and breathing.
Pass.
I'm waiting for the lenticular steelbook. Okay, so this is a good segue here. Are there anything like any collectibles you would like to brag about owning
Oh my gosh.
that you would like to showcase?
Um,
If you have to get up, that's fine.
maybe I have sweatpants on, so I don't I don't look
okay.
fabulous from the waist down.
Oh, I have my PJs.
I could take
Let
you
me
off the
see.
screen if you want. so
Oh
you
no,
know.
no, it's fine. I'm trying to see. Well, of course, I just have like my original VHS, but everyone has that. Oh, I do have. It's in my closet. Hopefully, my closet isn't filthy.
We're getting an inside look
At her
at
closet.
her closet.
Welcome to Fans of Something. I'm Fan.
Ooh,
He's something.
This looks like a laser disc.
Ooh.
This looks like a
I
laser
have
disc.
this. Okay.
It looked like a puzzle to me.
I was saying this looks like a laser disc. She says it looks like a puzzle.
No, it's honestly not even any good for me because you guys there?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
You guys disappeared from my
Give
screen.
full screen so that we can get a.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this isn't even of any real use to me because it's for the UK. So this is a VHS of the movie with like a behind the scenes featurette VHS as well. And it has this on the back, but there's all this cool stuff
on the inside
in it as well. So I will open this up. So you have these VHS tapes. Apparently, this is the movie on one tape.
Whoa.
Whoa.
How'd they do
How
that?
thick is that?
It's just
It's a normal VHS.
No, I mean,
regular old
like,
tape.
Oh yeah,
how big is the tape?
can we see the tape?
What do you mean? Like
Okay, yeah, right there, like the tape itself.
Like the tape itself. I mean,
Wow. Okay. I don't know how they do it then.
I don't know either. I think maybe it's just like the way tapes are made in the UK, like they use less of something. I don't know.
wait, this is news to me. Even VHSs are region locked.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
I tried watching it and it was just like garbled nonsense. It was nothing. I was
But
like,
funny
this
enough,
is-
Celine Dion still played.
I don't know why this won't fit back in. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. One
that's
tape
pretty cool.
Titanic. And then the other one is the Breaking New Ground documentary, which is on YouTube.
I love that image of James Cameron behind them.
I know, I love it. Yeah,
love
telling them what to do,
Yeah.
directing them, telling them what to do. That thing called directing.
I think I like it because that scene is so isolated in the movie, and then it's so weird to see like James just like interfering with it. You know?
Right. So then I can lift this up from here to reveal things underneath. So we have one of these. It's like a film strip from the
Yep.
movie, and I don't know if you can see. Maybe I'll shine my phone light.
Through it. There you go.
I don't know. It's
Oh, that's so cool. Wow, that works
from
really well.
from the flying scene. Just the beginning of it there.
A homemade projector.
Yeah.
I love it.
Then we've just got like some pictures. Just like,
Okay.
just pictures, little smaller than 8x10s.
You've never felt obligated to frame them?
I have not. I kind of, when I have things like this, I kind of like to just keep them in the box.
Okay.
But let's see what else. Then the cool thing, which I already have in book form that like they made, is the script, and it has like a little James Cameron signature down there. It's not actually signed, but it's just, a photocopy of his signature on it. But I like this because it's like, it's the script actually, like
Study material
in the form of a script kind of way.
But you have what I have as well, which is the illustrated screenplay.
Exactly, yeah. But I like the way this is literally just the script. It's
sort of what
cool.
they would hand the actors
for like a table read or something. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Or
That's
just
cool.
on to have on set. Yeah. Then the last thing in here is original theatrical production notes, and it's just little things here and there. It's just stuff about the cast, stuff about the plot, just little things like that. The making of it. Yeah, just it's not too long of a book. Just maybe about 20 pages or something. Oh, 39 pages. But yeah, that's this little UK box set thing that I have that I hadn't seen too many of them. So I mean,
and that's from our faithful friend eBay.
Yes.
Love eBay.
Yep. So I hadn't seen too many, but people are probably like, why is she so proud of this? Everyone has this thing over here.
And of course you have all 3 Funko Pops.
I have.
Right? You have the 2 individuals and then the Target one.
I have.
Make her get up again.
Ow.
And she hurt herself.
Yes. She's got all 3 of them. I only have the Target 2-pack.
Oh, Laren, I just realized that the fine dining and breathing was a SpongeBob reference.
Yeah, but it kind of works with the.
It does. Yeah, that's okay.
Oh wow. First of all, love that you're an inbox collector.
Oh yeah. So I have the 2 of them together with
Love
the
that
little
one.
flying pose. So cute.
I remember when I found out they were releasing these, and I think I screamed out loud. I was like, yes.
That manly.
And then I just have Rose in her dinner dress. I got it for Christmas, but she's missing an arm.
What?
Yeah, you can't see it,
on.
but like she literally has no arm on.
Oh my god.
On this side. Yeah, I don't know why that is.
Is it in the box, like rumbling around?
Like if you shake
No, I don't think so. She just doesn't have an arm. I don't know how that happened.
Came off the factory assembly line with no arm.
Hey, maybe that makes it unique.
It does, yeah. Yeah, there's people that collect defects. Yeah, defects.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't actually have Jack because I'm actually not a big Funko person. I know a lot of people are like super into it, but I do have these.
Yeah.
Give
us more. Like, why isn't there why haven't they made the Titanic into a pop ride?
Oh god,
that's kind of
like I know it's morbid, but it doesn't have to hit anything. It's just the Titanic in pop form.
Of course, I have like 3. I have a third standard one behind other DVDs there, but of course this was like one of my original ones that I watched all the time as a kid. But then I also have widescreen too, which has that gold,
the gold
touch. And things everyone else probably has the
That's
Blu-ray
the
that
one.
you said you don't like.
You know what? I would like it more if they got rid of the ship. Like, just make it them fully.
But see, I like the ship though, because it's called Titanic. We need Titanic on the
Okay, well then
photo.
just get rid of them. Like, why did they choose that? Like, why was that the poster for the re-release? I don't get it.
Well,
Like,
I think they
it's a really
maybe.
odd choice.
Well, I thought of it as, like the original is more of like lighter, airy, happier kind of. And then
Uh-huh.
this one was more focusing on the tragedy and
So now
whatever
we're
of it. You know
now
what I
we're
mean?
back to the lovey for the re-release.
Kinda, yeah. So, and I love the way inside my copy I kept Sprint. It's like a thing that says it says get the Titanic video cassette you purchased free when you switch to Sprint.
Oh my god.
Sprint coming in clutch.
And it gives you
Is it still valid?
the form to fill it out and to send it or
That's great.
whatever.
When
It's
did it
great.
expire?
Well, it says copyright 1998.
Might still
It
be in
says offer expires February 28th, 1999.
Darn,
Aw,
just missed
man.
it.
That's cool though. That's
Oh,
cool.
that's
I wonder how
great.
many people took advantage of that.
Yeah.
I
Do
know.
you
Anybody
have,
in the chat? Anybody in the chat take advantage of that?
do you have a
Sprint deal?
copy of Titanic sent by Sprint? Email us.
Not yet.
Or like, did you get service from Sprint for free? Is that what the deal was? I don't know.
That's funny.
Something.
That's
Did
great.
you have any affiliation with Sprint between 1998 and February 1999?
We got Cody in here.
That's
Dude
the
who loves
original
movies.
one.
There's the classic DVD. Yep. Don't forget to roundhouse kick the like button. Ooh, she got the
Anniversary
CD.
soundtrack.
R.I.P. James Horner, man.
I know.
R.I.P.
This has some cool stuff in it too, I think, actually, though. Yeah, this has like some cool stickers that I haven't found a place for yet, but we got a Titanic sticker, we got a White Star Line, another one.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And a nice little booklet.
Yep. Oh, I love it. Any like LPs or records, vinyl?
No, but I did see. I really, really, really want to get the soundtrack on vinyl. I saw it like just was reissued or something on like gold vinyl or something like that.
Yeah.
But I just didn't have the money at the time. But I would really like it. I have my record player right down here. But then of course the special collector's edition DVD.
Yeah, I love that one because when you open it up, it's just those profile pictures of Jack and Rose. It's gorgeous. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great. Big fan of the DVD format. Like I'm really a big supporter.
And then the whole big collage.
Look at that.
It's missing one because I have it in my DVD player. I just have it paused on where we left off.
You just don't get that anymore with Blu-rays and stuff. Like it's really sad. Like DVD is really where it's at when you want that.
That is gorgeous. That is.
Look at that. Yeah, like I got that on my shelf in my room. Ugh, so good.
Our room.
Sorry, our room. Sorry, our room. Billy Zane was a hero of mine growing up, more from the Phantom, not Titanic.
I was gonna say, hopefully not Gal.
Rose should have cut Jack's hand off with that axe.
Movie would have taken a very different turn.
Very different turn. Cake Reaper? Cake
Hi.
Reaper? That's an interesting name. Hello, Cake Reaper. And then what is that? Like, what is that image?
Is that an image?
That's a weird image there.
can't
Hi,
see.
everyone. Hello, Cake Reaper.
Oh.
Very cool Titanic shirt, says Cody.
Thank you.
And then Gussie, sweet
And then
Gussie
we got
boy.
Gussie boy, Jack. I'll never let go. Never let go, anybody. Never, ever let go. Look, it's even in the ticker. Never let go.
Enjoy the show and never let go.
What else? What else? Let's see. Vengeance Media. What's going on? I am living for this discussion. Yes, dude. I know you're a big fan. I saw you posted on your Instagram that you were very hyped. He's actually over in the UK, so he might have that that deluxe edition you just showed off there. Poor dogs. I could care less about the people. Just kidding, but not really.
Doggy.
Oh, Cody, we love you. I'm a huge dog lover.
What about
Yeah.
cats on board?
Yeah. What about the cats?
I know, I have 2
What about
cats
Leo's
now.
lizard? What about Leo's lizard?
Yeah. What about
Rumor has it froze too. Everyone's saying hey to everybody. I love it. I love the community. I remember the madness at Blockbuster when Titanic was released. They had a special release when they opened up at midnight, and it was chaos.
I remember the Blockbuster promos for when they're like, "We're gonna have Titanic on like available on this day. Like, come get it."
Okay. Gus coming in clutch here saying VHS are not region locked. It's just the UK uses a different format called
PAL.
and the US uses NTSC. Sorry.
but you still need a UK, like a PAL player.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Player. Gus, they may have used a faster speed similar to our VHS speeds. Okay, interesting.
But lower quality.
Oh.
That's a really cool VHS set. Yep. I got my tickets booked for next Saturday. Titanic in 4K 3D. Excited is an understatement. Yeah, this is one of those movies that, like, I don't care how many times I see it. It's just, it always feels like that first time.
I know. That's why I'm very excited because it will be my first time in 2 years. Closest I can get.
Are you, is it safe to say Cameron is your favorite filmmaker, or is there someone else that takes that cake?
You know, I don't know if I've watched enough movies by one director to really make that statement.
Okay.
Have
you seen all of Cameron's though?
I have not actually. I just started, like I said, I just watched the original Alien and then James Cameron's Aliens, which I liked Aliens marginally more than the original Alien. I feel bad. I am like a tough critic on Letterboxd. I'm like, I don't know who I think I am when I rate movies on there. I'm like, oh my goodness. But I just rate based off like personal preference and like enjoyment, really. Like out of 5 stars, what was my enjoyment level basically of this movie is how I rate movies on there. But yeah, I have seen Terminator. I can't think if I've seen Terminator 2. Probably not. That's something that I got to get on. I have a whole watch list.
You're in for a treat with that one.
Yeah, I have a big watch list of like extremely popular movies that I have not seen for whatever reason. And I'm starting to work my way through that list. Because like doing the podcast, I was like, I feel like I need to be like Ethan's kind of like the resident movie buff guy who has seen like every movie ever and has something to say about it. Whereas I was just more coming at it from just Titanic. But yeah, I feel like I just wanted to be more knowledgeable of, you know, the art of cinema and, you know, be able to see more movies to be able to like actually make a strong statement of what I like and dislike about movies. Cause I've seen a lot of movies over my life, but not as many as I would like. So I really have been enjoying going on this like Letterboxd journey, which is like really helping me because I love to be able to keep it like a diary. And it's just really helping me continue this film journey, and I'm really enjoying it and learning new things here and there about my taste in movies, what I like, what I don't like. But so far, I'm pretty much the way I thought I was, I'd say. And I also can't help but subconsciously compare every movie to Titanic, which is awful. Like I really shouldn't do that. But yeah, every time I sit down to watch a movie, I'm like expecting to be moved. And then like if I'm not, I'm like, 3 stars. It was fine.
T2. That's all I'm saying. T2. But see, that's the funny thing, because whereas Titanic is your podcast, I had a podcast way back in the day. It was all Terminator based.
I think I remember that. I remember like you talking about it.
Yep. And so Terminator is my Titanic. It's like I'm pretty sure it's in like favorite because I can what am I trying to say? I can separate favorite from, I think, James Cameron's best movie is Titanic, but my favorite James Cameron movie is The Terminator. So that's sort of like when I was doing the podcast, that was my focal point. But I've seen everything James Cameron's ever done. He's 100% my favorite filmmaker. And anytime someone's like, oh, he's just a douchebag, just like, well, now he has 3 of the highest grossing movies of all time, and I'm pretty sure he's a genius to some degree. So I think he can be a douche in some way.
Yeah.
He can give people that are trying to scalp autographs the finger, and it's fine. It's
Oh,
fine.
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, they weren't even real fans. They were just people that were like, hey, we love Avatar. We love Avatar. Avatar sucks. Avatar sucks. So, anyways, there we go. I could always send UK Titanic items if you need it, like the DVDs or blues. Yeah, Vengeance Media. He's got the hookup.
They unfortunately would do no good for me here unless I would be cool to have.
I just ordered the new pops that were dropped today for Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, I saw those.
Interesting. Talking about Avatar, though, I just ordered 2 of the. I ordered the Jake and the Natiri Funko Pops.
That's funny that you say that.
Why?
I won't say anything.
What, did you order them?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting those into the collection. Titanic Blu-ray 3D. I was never able to, are you able to watch it at 3D, like at home?
I don't have it on 3D. I just have the standard one. But I guess that is what you do. Like, it comes with some glasses or something. But
yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't know how good that would be from your home, but maybe.
Yep, Terminator 2 Judgment Day changed my life. I'll never be the same. Typically that's what it always is. It's either Titanic is number 1 and then T2 is number 2, or it's reverse on most James Cameron lists. Those are his 2.
I highly doubt for me that it would be reversed once I see T2, but
T2 for you, I think, would be number 2. But those are usually the ones that people put on those lists. Those are his big masterpieces. Gus saying, what's Gus saying here? To watch Pal, he's giving us a breakdown of how to watch this. So there you go, in case you want to watch it. Dang, Gus is an expert. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
I didn't know Gus was such an expert over here. Yes, I have a 3D TV. Well, you lucky
duck
guy, man. Yeah, we don't have a 3D TV, but I wouldn't even want to watch it in 3D at home, honestly.
No, I have too many eye problems.
I've never understood the appeal of that. All right, well, we caught up on the wait, hold on, what's this? Number 2, because it's the shit.
That's a pun. I get it.
So we're caught up on the chat, and we've gone over 2 hours here, which is where we like to keep it on these live streams, because we're at almost 11 o'clock. So we're gonna round it out here. We're gonna wind down. We have a question though. My question for Brittany would be, what is your favorite scene in Titanic? Mine is when Rose is on the lifeboat and changes her mind last minute. The score is so haunting. R.I.P. James Horner.
Yeah, so there's, off the top of my head, there's 2 that I just find myself revisiting sometimes. Like, I've revisited the 2 scenes. These are the only things I've let myself watch when I started getting this Titanic itch again. I was like, okay, I won't watch the movie, but I'll just scrub to these 2 scenes to get a little fix. So one of them is the scene that you like, actually, Eddie, like right before the wave. It's when Rose and Jack see the little boy and she's like, we can't leave him. They run and grab him. Jack picks him up. And it's just that shot when they go running down to the opposite side of the hall and they do the kind of a close up on Jack. And he's like shocked as he's holding him and sees that they can't go that way because the water's rushing. Something about that moment, I just love it. Because it just makes me, I don't know, just the thought of like Jack being able to be a father or something like that someday. And he just didn't get that chance. And he was just such a stand-up guy trying to save this kid at the same time. But yeah, so I like that. And then a very specific moment in the sinking scene well, I mean, the sinking scene is quite a long sequence, but, like, just as it's about to go down, um, and Rose and Jack are at the, very top of the stern, and Rose looks over and sees the baker, and they just kinda exchange this look to each other. It's just like these 2 people who are about to, they're facing their own mortality right now, and they just share this look, and then the ship slowly starts to go down and the score kicks in, and there's that, and then the shot right after that is from the side of the ship going down, and the water pressure, like, bursts one of the windows as it's going down, and it's right when the score goes, "Dun, dun, 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 dun." It's like that one part, it's like, "Dun, dun, 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 dun." And for some reason, that always stuck with me as a kid, like, that one sideways shot of the ship going down, because it's just
Yep.
it's so well done. But, yeah, those are the 2 scenes off the top of my head, but
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Something that always stands out to me is the just because like the scope of it is that shot where I forget who the character is, but it's inside, kind of at the like the main part where it's the clock is right there, and
Mhm.
you can see the glass, like that giant glass piece, and it just all of a sudden bursts.
Oh, the dome, yeah.
Yeah, and the water starts rushing in, and I'm just like, this is real. Like this isn't
Oh,
fake.
yeah. The
Like this
behind the
is
scenes, yep.
like, they actually burst that thing so that water could start rushing in, and it's just like, that's nuts to me, so but yeah, hands down, my favorite scene is the CGI replacement of the stunt doubles with
Oh, no. I know,
Jack
which
and
is
Rose
in that scene, yeah.
with Jack and Rose, because like, God, like, that scene is, like, I think maybe the most adrenaline-fueled scene in any movie ever. It's just
And
it's
then right after that, and they got caught behind the gate.
yeah, God, it's just it's, I honestly think it's because of the fact that it's, again, real. The only thing that's fake about it is they had to put the stunt double's face. They had to switch them out with Leo and Kate, but other than that, it's real people running in slow motion down a hall from a tidal wave of water. Just I would wanna do that. Like, I wanna do that before I die. I wanna
Run in a
simulate
tidal
something
wave.
like that. I wanna run down a hallway and have a tidal wave following me
Oh, no.
and film
And
it
have someone film it. Yeah.
and then put it in slow-mo so I look like a badass. Because that's badass. So that's hands down my favorite scene. What is your favorite scene from Titanic?
Uh, I mean, I also have to go with the part where when the ship's sinking, because I have yet to also meet somebody who has like their favorite part not during that,
Not during the sinking.
not during the sinking.
I
But
mean, there are other things I could pick
yeah.
too, though, like, very small moment when old Rose looks at her drawing for the first time, and she closes her eyes, and it flashes to Jack's eyes
Yeah,
drawing her,
that's a great editing right
and then
there.
she
Yeah.
opens her eyes again and looks at it. I love that. That's one of my favorite moments in the whole movie. It's what draws me in, like, every time I'm, like, watching it, and I'm like, "Do I really wanna watch Titanic again?" And then we hit that scene, and I'm like, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I need to see it again."
It's like I hate to be repetitive, but that I mean, it draws out so many like emotions. And because you've been spending like however long, like 3 hours like with these characters, you start to like feel something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But what really was like, oof, ouch to me was when the orchestra was playing the song that you know the title of that I don't.
Near my God to thee, yeah.
Yes. And it's like when they're like, "All right, one last song, like, ready," because it's like, what else are you gonna do? They know they're gonna die, and it's just like, oh, and that song, I mean,
'Cause they do
and
the montage with it, right? And they
yeah,
make sure they show you all different like, all the different
uh,
walks of life on the Titanic
uh,
right now and what they're going through and how
uh,
but it's also like that's that scene where you realize that everyone is in the same boat. No pun
Oh,
intended. But but yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter. There's
yeah,
all different sorts of people trying to help each other and just absolute chaos and
like, it's
yeah.
not just Jack and Rose, but a ship of, 3,000 people. But then when the boat, like, slowly starts tipping this like this, I mean, opposite, but and then, like, the people, they're trying to run higher, but because of gravity, like, their bodies just keep
sliding. Yeah.
sliding and hitting everything and falling into the water, like, "Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god."
Scary. And
Yeah.
the fact that they finally showed the ship breaking in half, whereas like what A Night to Remember, it just does
It
this,
went down. Yeah.
right? It just kind of does like this or
Shouldn't
something.
went
be laughing.
downhole.
Shouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, like it's like
Yeah.
good, all right? The fact that
But
he
of
was like,
course, people
hey,
still have criticism. So, like, actually, that's not the exact place where it broke. That it wouldn't have gone up that high, and it wouldn't have done. And I'm just like, can we just like enjoy it for what it is?
yeah.
Like, please.
Shut up.
Gus, unfortunately, James Horner is dead. I believe he died in a helicopter accident,
Yeah, plane crash. I think. Yeah.
something
God.
like that. Yeah. Who is that young guy with Haley? Oh, wait, it's Eddie without his beard. Yeah, I don't have my beard. Apparently, it's a breaking news story.
Yeah.
Looking good. You keep it shaved or growing it back? I tend to shave it, then grow it for 9 months, and then shave it, and then grow it for 9. So that's the trajectory.
Yeah.
Who's the French? What? Montessier next to Haley? I don't know. It's the dude without a beard. Okay.
Yeah, it's wear a name tag next time.
Yes. Gus says, I love at the beginning when Rose comes out of the car with her huge posh hat. The shot that they had to reverse.
Mirror. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, so good. Judd is apparently saying goodnight. Enjoy your evening.
night.
Good night, Gus. Thank you for being,
night,
or
Judd.
Gus, Judd. Sorry. I saw Gus right below it. Thank you, Judd, for being with us tonight. All right. Well, there we go. Because we got the favorite scene in there. So that was a question I was going to ask, but dude who loves movies beat me to it. So,
No, it was Nat.
oh, that was Vengeance Media, wasn't it? It was Vengeance Media. Sorry, I'm all confused tonight. Thanks for the discussion, trivia, candid conversation tonight. Titanic rules. Have Brittany back sometime. Yeah, I mean, we do.
I had a really good time.
Yeah,
Really fun.
we do other things other than, but I mean, again, I don't know what else she likes besides Titanic.
And the other show that shall not be named.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Where can we find you all on socials? Well, all of our stuff's linked down below, as well as well, I didn't link her socials, but I'll link them down below. But I linked where the podcast can be found. So go there. But then after the show ends, I'll put
Instagram,
Insta,
Letterboxd,
all that stuff.
I know. Yeah, Letterboxd.
Yeah, Letterboxd. Make sure to send me your link to Letterboxd, and I'll put it there.
Yeah.
Oh, Lauren, we already did that.
We already did that. We watched Groundhog Day today, so we beat you to it. Having fun and safe night. This was fun. I love Titanic. As do we. That's why
Me too.
That's why we decided to do it, and we decided to reach out to one of the biggest fans that the movie has. Night all. Good night, Gus. See you tomorrow. FOS. Yes, we'll be live tomorrow. Just really quickly, because we just like to let everyone know what's going on. Tomorrow we are going to be watching The Kid, Charlie Chaplin's The Kid, with James from 20th and 21st. That's going to be a fun one. Probably won't be a big audience because it's a over 100-year-old movie, but it is what it is. Then we got our everything we watched from January 1st to the 31st. So we're going to be talking about all those cool movies. And then we got Nerdy Film Girl coming on for FOS Live number 19. So a lot of cool stuff to look forward to.
Caught me while I was yawning.
So what we're going to do to round it out here, we're going to let Brittany just kind of say her final thing here. And then we're going to actually play the 25th anniversary trailer for Titanic. That's what's going to send us off. So I think there's no better way to end this episode than with the actual trailer for the new re-release, which everybody, I hope, is going to see.
Yes.
I know all three of us are. So
Multiple times, definitely.
James Cameron loves you.
He loves those repeat viewers.
I'm just a dude who loves Titanic. That's how he sounds.
Wait, so this might be a stupid question, but for the people who go like purchase tickets to watch Titanic, does that make its box office
grow?
It does. Yes.
Yep. So Avatar is about to pass it, but then this is going to add to Titanic. So it's just going to be this the whole time. It's just going to be that the whole time. Great show tonight. Thank you, Huck. Can't wait to be on your channel on the 13th. All right. So Brittany, any last things you'd like to say?
Not really. I think we covered a lot of it. Of course, my choker is on backwards. That always happens by the end of the day. Yeah, no, I think we covered everything. I had a really great time. It was so much fun. Thank you for inviting me on.
Yep.
Um,
When can we expect an episode drop?
Yes. So we have 2 episodes recorded, actually, one of which is an interview with Alexandra Boyd, who played a first-class woman in Titanic, which is incredible. And we interviewed
Love it.
her. So we have that coming. And then we also have our episode that we started recording, or we did record prior to our break that we took. So we have that on deck. Again, no pun, no pun intended. We have that in the wings, ready to go too. But we were just kind of waiting for the right moment. We kind of wanted to be able to do a catch-up episode first, but whatever happens, I feel like our interview is probably going to come out first, maybe. So, but we'll see.
There we go. So everybody, again, one more time, please check out the podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple, Google,
Wherever podcasts
all
are
that
found.
stuff.
Everywhere, pretty much, I think.
Vengeance saying, thanks everyone. Least in 4K, you can see if there was room on that door. It's not a door.
Not a door.
It's not a door. We debunked that tonight. So, but I don't think Vengeance was here for it. So, good night, everyone. Good night, Vengeance.
Good night.
Good night, my good man. All right. Well, there we go, everybody. That's Brittany Butler from The Voice and from James Cameron's Titanic scene by scene podcast. Unfortunately, Ethan did not jump in tonight.
I know. I hope
right.
I hope he was able to tune in at some point, but
It's all good. One day I'll see what he looks like. So we're going to play the trailer here. And then Brittany, just hang around until the stream ends, and then we'll do a formal goodbye. Because I'm sure you want to watch the trailer again too. So. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow night. I forget what time it's at, but it's on the page for the channel. Sometime after 7:30. Watching The Kid. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a quick movie. Charlie Chaplin, we love it. And James is going to be joining us. So we'll see everybody tomorrow. And until then, there's one thing that you all have to do besides watch this trailer that's going to play here. And that is keep being fans of something.
Listen to me. I've got you. I won't let go.
Titanic was called the ship of dreams. And it was. It really was.
Give me your hand. Do you trust me?
I trust you.
Open your eyes.
I'm flying. Jack.
You never know what hand you're going to get dealt next. You learn to take life as it comes at you. To make each day count.
I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let